Perfect podcast. Welcome to the Almost Perfect podcast, a celebration of fuck-ups, failures, and falling flat on your face. This is a podcast that believes you can learn from experience, but that experience doesn't have to be your own. Ha, I'm a perfect and I'm a functional fuck-up. Let's learn from somebody else's mistakes. And today we are learning from Heath. Now, Ali is the bassist for bands such as City Bowl Mizers, Ours, and Hated Related. Probably one or two other projects that I'm forgetting about at the moment. And he is also a film lecturer who teaches the film students of Durban one or two things about how to make a movie. So Ali is also one of my oldest friends, and this conversation is a very real one as we get into addiction and recovery. We speak very openly about our past. Both of us admit to a lot of shit that, looking back was pretty bad. We were assholes. We admit that. It comes up quite a bit. And yeah, we talk about the realities of substance abuse and those sorts of things. So that is coming at you in just a little bit. Of course, you can support this podcast by going to almostperfect.co.za. But without further ado, here comes the Almost Perfect podcast with Ali Heath. So how are you living, Ali?
Comparably, far more modestly than you might remember. But I'm living good, dude. I'm doing some crazy shit, like just working a lot. Obviously, doing my PhD. Stuff.
Obviously, as one does.
Yeah, as one does. As one's been doing for almost 7 years now.
I mean, isn't that how long a PhD takes?
It's how long a PhD takes to complete. I've been doing it for 7 years. Ask me if I'm complete. I'm going to tell you, no, I'm not. No, but I've been doing crazy shit, man. Like, I walked across Shishlui the other day. I backpacked across Shishlui.
I don't know where Shishlui is.
Shishlui Umfalosi. It's like that big game reserve.
Oh, so snap. Okay.
I mentioned through the wild. It was crazy. Not on roads or anything. Just backpacking through... Yeah, the bush and shit. No, I didn't because I checked my balls every now and then. Actually, I got another dude to do it. No, I didn't, but that was an agreement that we did have prior to going in, is that we were gonna have to check each other's butts and stuff, but I never got theirs because I'm way too prideful. I'd rather die from tick bite fever than have a dude I
mean, I don't know, that's not always been you, but I've actually had tick bite fever from fucking Oppie Koppie. I came home and it was under my fucking armpit, and I pulled this tick out not thinking about it. It's motherfucker. Pulled it out. And literally fucking the next week of my life was just almost as bad as COVID, or maybe worse. I can't remember.
Really?
Yeah. Dude,
similar symptoms?
No.
Fever?
COVID for me wasn't chundery, whereas tick bite fever was very chundery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So. You still get the same I know some dudes who got COVID went briefly, but went psychotic for a bit as well, and that's not as funny as I'm making it sound. Obviously, it's tragic and awful. Yeah, but no, it didn't have that.
No, I mean, I didn't have any delirium or anything like that, fever dreams or anything like that. But fucking from whatchamacallit I did from tick bite fever, that was definitely fever dreamy
shit
type stuff. Not a good time. Don't recommend it. So that's why personally, as much as I like the nature shit, there's a will there. There's also I've been bitten, I've literally once bitten, twice shy. And I think when it comes to tick bite fever, that especially matters. But
ticks were the animals that we got the heads up on, but I mean, they were all 10 minutes, within walking for 10 minutes, whatever. And keep in mind, I weigh 63 kgs, my backpack was 28 kgs. And we walked about 40 Ks over 5 days, in the pouring rain for the most part. Within 10 minutes of walking, we just hear this fucking weird loud noise that you don't hear all the time. So we're okay, and we just look, and there's just this huge goddamn lioness 4 meters away, and this thing just bolts past us.
Yeah, you see, this
it's psycho, dude.
It seems anything dangerous than anything else I've done in my life, which is a lie, but that's still why are you putting yourself in these positions?
Weird reason. I mean, the objective of that walk thing, because it isn't a scarce thing that it's a pretty common thing. A lot of people go and do it.
I know, I've got Instagram.
Yeah. Its objective is kind of supposedly like a sort of like a spiritual one more than like a touristy one kind of thing. So it's just at its most simple, it's just like going off grid for like 5 days, you know, and then just like all of the stuff that you're usually like surrounded by, there's just like, and you're usually dealing with, you just like for 5 days, I can't do a damn thing about it. And so just kind of like creating like a bit of a separation so that when you come back, you have like a refreshed kind of just view of it, or like you have like a reinvigorated purpose and like means by which to like go at it again. And for me, like as a sober dude, it was because there's that whole thing. I mean, you know, the Serenity Prayer, like accept the things we can't change.
Yeah.
So it's like a control thing. Whenever like I have an issue with like needing to like control like almost everything in my life, you know. So
Sure.
like going away for 5 days was meant to be like it was like a recovery, like informally like a recovery thing for me. And being more like I can go off grid for 5 days and come back and like life's gonna be totally chilled. Like it's like, so I just need to experience that. And I came back after 5 days, and it had just been, it was those crazy floods in Durban. So I came back and turned on my phone, and like everything's fucked. And I'm like, maybe I do control everything.
I could have prevented this if I was here.
Yeah. If I was here, this would never happened.
Oh, that is funny though. Like, and you hear those stories about like, yeah, the people who go on retreats with like no phones and stuff, and then come back and like their houses are gone.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey man, family's dead.
Yeah, that's a little bit harder to deal with. I was actually listening to like a Patton Oswalt bit earlier where he was dealing with like, the death of his wife and stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was just, it's crazy. I recommend people go check it out. I mean, I like that people are doing comedy like that these days. But yeah, some situations are a little bit harder to be zen about, you know?
No, absolutely. Jeez. No.
It's fucking crazy. And that's the funny thing, like with this journey, I guess, that you're on, and that, like, you know, you're looking for like, these moments and experiences, and you can get them from going away. But like, the expectation is come back and life's going to be the exact same. And the lesson is, nah, dude, everything's impermanent. Like,
oh yeah, dude, spontaneity, man. That's a big thing because, again, with that control thing, it's just like, it's such like an unreasonable, and those expectations, it's so unreasonable because I mean, there's so many variables and everything, and this like organism has so many, so it's like just like one molecule trying to get another molecule like what to do, you know. And they're like kind of just constantly engaged in this battle just to like control like how this thing is doing. It's such it just doesn't work, you know. But it's such a delusion that like you're like, I can't control this. I'm gonna put in the work that I can, and thereafter I need to kind of control every aspect of like what this other person's thinking about it, like how it's gonna get to another person from that, how that person's gonna feel about it, how this person's gonna feel about it, whatever. So obviously you just end up just like busted out. You just end up like totally drained and then just unable to actually do stuff.
And you also hate yourself because you think everyone else hates you.
Yeah, exactly, man. So just that expectation for me, it always just leads to just overthinking and then just like burning out, and then obviously just massive amounts of fear. Something that's super low stakes becomes such a high stakes thing to me. Like I don't know if you like identify with that.
It's weird because the high stakes shit just is always like leading up to it, like if I've got like a high stakes thing coming up, like I get anxious and nervous in that. But like when it comes to doing the thing, it's just like, here we go. But like low stakes things, it could be like, you know, making a fucking doctor's appointment. Like that shit literally can take me months. Like,
yeah, dude. Putting off for 4 months a thing that took you 10 minutes to accomplish. Yeah. Just because you foresaw like all of these like complications and whatever that just weren't there. There's just weird blocks sometimes, like with anxiety shit. Like, dude.
Like it's crazy how your brain just like for some reason won't let you do stuff. Like,
yeah. That's like that, and that's like such like a life-changing thing, dude, is when you kind of, and it's not even being able to like move past that anxiety, it's just like doing stuff still with that anxiety.
Yep.
It's more that. So realizing that you actually like you can move forward, and sure, it's a lot more slower, so one step at a time kind of thing, but you can still move forward, and kind of like it's like addiction, how like you don't beat it ever. Like you don't beat it. You learn that it's there and it's chronic, like it's not going anywhere, and you just got to live like regardless, like with it, and that there are things you can do about it to like constantly treat it, you know, but you're not going to get rid of it. You're not going to be like, fuck you, and kind of just like it's going to defeat like if you have the thing that I have, if you're like an addict to my type, you know, because again, like we were saying earlier, like
well, so this is okay. Let's actually just like take a step back for the listener, because we're getting into some stuff when we've been chatting off mic for like half an hour beforehand, and now we're just like, yeah, like everyone knows your story, but I guess they don't. And like, obviously, as you're saying, you have been, well, I don't know what the correct nomenclature is. It like, are you an addict? I guess you say I am an addict, and you continue to be an addict forever, even if you're not using.
Recovering addict.
Recovering addict. There we go. Cool. That was what I was looking for. So you're a recovering addict, and you know, this has been a journey that like I've been pretty far removed from. Like, you know, I've seen you little bits here and there, you know, but like, I mean, I've also spent the last 3 years here.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't really done much with anyone, and I've gone through my own weird stuff, and it weirdly crosses over with some of the things you've picked up over the last while. And like, that's been interesting about chatting to you recently, is just like some of the tools that you use, or some of the tools that like
exactly, dude,
I've been using. But we don't have that same thing. But anyway, you come from the rock music scene since you were like a kid.
Rock music scene.
That's it. I'm not gonna say punk.
No, it's true, and it's just something I've had to become more kind of accepting of as I get older. Because when I was a kid, if you said that to me like 5 years ago, I would have been like, "Fuck you, dude." We're
City Bowl Mizers. We're a punk band.
We were like a radio pop rock band. If we're gonna be blunt about it,
that came from the punk scene, like fucking. Fall Out Boy, you know, like,
and that created such weird expectations of us that like we never met. We're like when we'd meet people, because they'd heard like Aha and stuff on the radio, and they expected like choir boys, man.
Oh wow,
like, when they met us, and then we would just like totally be the opposite, you know, and just like absolute like maniacs. And
absolutely
like,
unhinged.
It was difficult for people to like reconcile. They were like, and they figured, they were like, dude, is everyone in Durban like this?
When it was just like you guys and the Go-Go guys and like a handful of us, like we just like took like the party level to its maximum as quickly as possible. Like, which for me and for many people and for you were fun times for a lot of it. You know, there were many, I mean, there were also many fucking horrible mornings and many fights and many fucking like
evictions,
being left in fucking Scottsboro, I think it was.
Margate, Scottsboro area.
Somewhere down there, you know, after Kurt getting fucking maced in the face. Like, you know, like, which are all like amazing memories, like looking back on now, but the experiences of going through that shit is so heavy sometimes and so hectic. But then at the same time, it is just fucking an unreal life that I don't think many people even get to live. Like that band touring life, and especially at that time, and especially with that band, I guess. Like, yeah, what was that like? Tell me about it.
Oh shit, man. Well, there's a lot, and that's why again, like when you asked me to come, excuse me, when you asked me to come do this thing, I was like so curious what we were going to talk about, because like I'm ultimately I'm like a has been, you know,
but you're
like,
not, because you're still doing film things, like you've you lecture film, you've taught a lot of kids film. You're still in a fucking band with Hated Related and stuff. You're still doing things. Like, so yeah, we're talking about the like glory days, but shit happens after that.
Yeah, no, it does. No, but it was just interesting because again, like, I mean, I have done a lot of stuff, but it's just weird. It's weird, like, because I haven't done this for so long, like be on the other end of like a microphone talking about like what's up or whatever. And typically like there was, and like, listen, there's more up now than ever before, like in my entire life, but it's like of a different nature, you know. Then it was just like, our record's coming out on like Saturday or whatever, be it like Jubilee Hall or something. But now there's like none of that.
Marty tries to swear on the radio.
And then Marty tries to swear on the radio.
Well, he does successfully swear on the radio.
Yeah, and Kurt called like the dude from Shadow Club a wanker or something.
Fair,
and like
he was.
Like,
Jacques will tell you himself he was a fucking wanker.
No, it wasn't even Jacques. It was one of the other ones.
I remember Kurt and Jacques got into a fight like at the gig you guys played together at.
Yeah, he threw him out of the car, I remember.
Yeah, because he was hitting on Kurt's girlfriend at the time, which is fair.
Yeah, man. No, but like it was fun, dude. It was fun. And like you said, like there were a lot of like wild memories, and it's cool. Like it's cool when it happens then. Like it's fun, you know. And there was just like that. We were all outrageous kids, and we got to be like outrageous, like in like a community of outrageous kids.
Exactly.
So that was like, it was perfect. It was cool. It was so dangerous, but it was so safe as well.
I don't know if it was safe. Yeah. Like looking back at things, like I'm like there was
safer
so many
than doing
times.
it alone. I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But it's also you got other people egging you on to do
It was so
silly shit.
competitive.
Yeah.
It was so competitive.
Like the tasering each other's shirts.
Oh,
The fucking, like, that's what I say. Like, it's just like, it's weird because like it's unhinged how like crazy you can live your life like in your early 20s, especially like in like, you know, the band scene. Like, I don't know if it's like that anymore because of social media and because like if you misbehave like in any way these days, like people like are just like naughty.
Consequences.
No.
Yeah. No, there weren't. I mean, if there were the same consequences that there are now, like back then or whatever, like wow, man, like we'd be like arrested or just like totally on, and not for reasons of like, I don't know, like bigotry or anything like that.
Yeah, not
but
bigotry
I mean, like,
or sexual assaults and shit.
Yeah,
but like, fighting
just,
and drunken behavior
just
in
for
public.
being just inappropriate.
Yeah,
like we'd be just like constantly on the cover of like News 24, on the front page of News 24 or something like that. But I mean, like again, that would have been for like most bands from our scene.
Exactly.
Like, Mizers were like a unique type of like psychotic, you know, just like really. It was psychotic, but I mean, now being like a little older and like looking back at it, it was just like obnoxious and not in like a cute bratty sort of way.
We were the worst, dude.
Like,
just the way we would roll like into places and just take over, like just
dude, and just going with the intention of just fucking with everyone.
Yeah.
And like thinking that we were so rad. Like, because we weren't fucking with anyone because like we wanted, because we were getting a kick of fucking with everyone. We were like, let's have everyone see that we're fucking with everyone. But that's what it was like for me, at least. It was very much like an attention thing. Like a
100%, dude.
Yeah,
like I know from my own experiences, like, you know, being friends with you guys, but then doing my own shit as well. Like that's been its own journey. But like I still remember, just like I said, as I say, like Mizers, Go-Go Bronco, like partying together, like with the house parties we would have, the fucking all the shit, like that was, and we thought we were the coolest. And I guarantee you there were people out there, well, people even said you guys are dicks. We didn't believe them.
They did all the time.
We did not believe them.
We thought we were just like misunderstood, right? They just like didn't get our thing. Like, but no, we were dicks.
Yeah,
like we were absolute dicks. A lot of it is while it's still funny, a lot of it is just like, again, it's regrettable in that 100%. Way that it's just like, oh my god, I was such a dork. What the hell was I doing?
Dude, the greatest thing in my life was turning 30, because after that I was just like, what the fuck have I been doing with my life? Like, it's like,
yeah, 30 is when you begin to like look in like the rearview mirror and you're just like, where am I? Like, what direction have I been driving and where the fuck am I going?
Well, that's literally it. Because it was like, yeah, that was some great times, but it's also like, yeah, there's a lot of people on the other side of those memories who rightfully like don't like I've always been like, oh, people don't like me for their own reasons. I'm like, yeah, maybe some of those reasons were because of me being a fucking asshole.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, like, you know, like making like amends vibes is like part of like my process, whatever. Like of all that, and I don't think too far like ahead to that thing, to writing out those amends and then making those amends and whatever.
Is it just when something pops up, do you write it down?
No, it's like when I get to the place in my recovery where I then,
you're not there yet.
Do that. No, I'm not.
Oh shit. Okay. How long? Well, I mean, I guess the process is different for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, it's your whole life thing.
Sure.
It's your whole life thing. So you like, in terms of like the stuff that you like write out and whatever, like you can, that's a life thing as well. So like you'll finish like one round of it and then start it up again, because I mean, like you're making new resentments. People are becoming like, new people are resentful of you. You need to make a new amends to people, because like we're humans. We're gonna fuck up. We're just gonna kind of like bash around, and like a person's gonna trip over, and we're just gonna make sure that we like apologize, pick them back up and whatever. But I mean, like, we're going to carry on doing that forever. You know, it isn't like we just did it. Now we do this recovery work and then we're never going to like hurt anyone ever again, or we're never going to be hurt, or we're never going to screw up or whatever. So, but no, in my first round of doing like the written work or whatever, I'm not at that place yet. So, but I mean, like, I just know that when I do have to go and make amends, whatever, like so many of those like are going to have like nothing to do with like, the stuff I'm like in recovery for, you know. It's just, a lot of it is just like just being like an absolute dick, just like 24/7, you know, but until I was like 33.
Yeah, because I guess like at the same time, like there was a part of us being characters when we went out, like characterized versions of ourselves, and like it's weird how the party scene and the punk scene can be like that. It's like everyone's like a bit of a personality because we are all personalities, but like it comes out like when it's mashing up against each other, I guess.
Yeah, and when it gets that competitive as well. I think because it does. Listen, I also think that's just a growing up in whatever scene kind of thing.
Sure.
You have this sort of like archetype of like what's cool and that, and then everyone wants to be like the closest thing to that archetype, and they're kind of just
what they think
like scrambling up the
is,
mountain, and like in order to like get there, kind of pushing down other dudes and whatever. And for that, it was just being an asshole and getting as wasted as humanly possible, as often as possible, and like trashing whatever we could.
We were just jackass characters, man,
more or less. Hey, but I think we romanticized it to be so because we were probably like better than jackass. We were like, man, that shit's like dumb or whatever, but like that's what we were.
Never thought that a day in my life. I love Jackass. Fucking.
I want to watch the new one.
Same, dude.
I want to watch the new one because I know they've got some like just because they're a lot older now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just interested to watch it. I'm interested to see like how it lands.
I think Jackass is some of the purest comedy that like has ever been created. Like, it's just. There's no setups and punchlines here. It's all, but it is all setups and punchlines. That's also the thing because. How they get hurt is the punchline. The setup is putting your dick in a fucking like tank with a snake, and then the punchline is the snake biting the fucking dick. It's like, that's hilarious to see in real life, but like you can't tell that story and it be funny. Like
exactly. It's like that. Is that you're told the punchline in the you're given what the punchline is, and then you're just watching the joke play out, just to see how much pain the person goes through, how much they suffer. And it created like I don't know if it would be a genre, but like a category in itself of that, which I mean, then again, like there was like the weird Irish version. I think there was like a Latin American version. They had different names.
And you eventually had like Trailer Park Boys and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. Whereas
which was different, but
because I mean, with Jackass, like everyone had their favorite person, like they were characters, you know. So I mean, like shit, it was no different to like a soap opera or something like that. It was just like, what are they going to do next? What's going to happen next kind of thing. You were just asking those questions.
Well, yeah, with the reality TV aspect of it, you know, they put everyone's real lives and personalities through there. And like, you know, you had the dynamics like of the crew, you know, you had Bam being fucking scared of, what was it, snakes or spiders or something. Like,
I can't remember.
Yeah. But like, you know, they would, I think it was snakes. They would like, you know, terrorize them with that shit. And like... Yeah, I more than most like think Jackass has plenty cultural merit, especially like just in modern society. Like
no, definitely. It's like it's that I mean, at a stretch you could consider it more than slapstick, but like even if
more than slapstick.
Yeah, no, but it is more than slapstick. It was
because slapstick doesn't hurt.
There was like
reality
auteur element to it. There was like if you really want to reach, but it's there. But I mean, like
there's an arc.
It's so just great to like watch. It's mindless, and it's just guys getting hurt or whatever, and like you know they're gonna be okay, and then like in their outside lives, like I mean, super unfortunately, like a lot of them like weren't okay, you know.
Well, but it's also because they were doing the same shit we were. They were using alcohol and drugs and doing stupid shit to get attention as you know a way of fucking dealing with life.
Dude, that's actually while we were just talking about Mizers, man. This is like a great kind of like it's a lot like there was a lot like that, dude. It was a lot like that, man. It was just like it was an awesome experience, and like we had a lot of fun, and yeah, we were just doing this goofy stuff, and then actually being able to just make something with the people that we were, which was like a really enjoyable like live show for people and stuff like that.
You guys put on a hell of a fucking live show.
Yeah, and it's for the same reason that Jackass is really good. You know, it was just them like doing their things, but just like managing to make like an art out of it and like a craft, and then develop that thing and whatever. So I mean, like, Mizers. Being a Mizers was kind of felt like being a Jackass. Like I've never actually thought of it like that way, but I mean that is what it was. Because you just think about like the other dudes that are in Mizers.
100%.
How would it be anything but Jackass?
Like Kurt is Johnny Knoxville. Like
dude, he is. Oh man.
But yeah, dude. So, well, one of the things I wanted to actually ask is, with that whole experience, how much of the popularity stuff like affect you?
Not me so much because I played bass.
And you always kind of had a steady girlfriend. Like that's been your like MO.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
You've
which
never
wasn't always a great thing.
sure, but I'm just saying you
Um,
weren't one of the guys who was like, dating around.
no, not really. Well, like I kind of was, but in the way that like I was, they were like super like codependent issues, you know.
Oh, sure.
So I would date around, but then
But
those
for months
dates
at a
would go
time.
on. Those dates would go on for like 5 years, and then eventually just be all like. On their side, usually it would just be like, "This isn't working," you know, and I'd be like,
Like I thought your world was cool,
I'd
bro.
in my
But
mind
it's
be
just,
like, "Oh my god, what took you so long?" And like,
oh god, I know that.
I would secretly be like relieved for the person, like when they got out, one of my ex girlfriend, when the relationship ended, and she was so miserable at the end, and it was just because of me just being like a trash boyfriend, but not knowing that I was being a trash boyfriend. Well, I guess like subconsciously, I must have known because, yeah. But anyway,
Because when it happened, you were like, yeah, fair enough.
yeah, no, but again, I was like in denial about so much stuff.
Sure.
So much stuff that like I thought I was okay and that I was acting okay when I definitely wasn't. And I mean, so she was just like miserable and she was like, crying all the time. And like I was in such denial that I was just like, what is up with this person? You know?
What's
But-
her problem?
Yeah, but like again, like this deeper, smarter part of me knowing that like this is I'm to blame for this. I'm to blame, and this person like really like deserves a lot better, you know. So like when we would break up, I'd almost like breathe for them. I'd be like, oh my, like thank God, you know, like cool, go like live, go like you're worth a lot, and this has been a wasted like not,
But
not
that's
a waste
cool.
of time. Like I mean, because like there isn't a lot of resentment from them. Like I'm still great friends with a lot of them. That's just because it's almost like that's what it was meant to be. But because I would almost like, and not in a gross like predatory kind of way, like manipulate a relationship out of it. But I would do things like love bomb people, and you know, just kind of like figure out how to make this person like this version of me that I wanted to be seen as, you know, where I definitely wasn't that version. And then
Yeah, I think the first few months of all your relationships, like you like give everything to someone.
Yeah, exactly. In a very transactional way. And again, not in like a super creepy way, but in like a just like I needed to be
you
like
dig the person and you show them love. Like, but I get like
there was like an agenda that was like unknown at the time, which was just like I needed to like exist, like I needed to feel like loved by someone, and that's why I'd hop from one relationship to another so quickly.
Have like I think, especially when you're young, especially in your 20s, like I know that. Like, I mean, I played the field a bit more than you did, I think, but like, you know, like I get that feeling of like when a girl breaks up with you and you're like, fucking finally. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like, what were you doing? Like, this was so silly.
So, I mean, yeah, dude, definitely. Like, there is that. It's a part of growing up, and it's a part of dating, whatever, or just like, I mean, it's a part of like being like a human being, you know, like we want to connect with people. But it's something that through growing up and messing up, whatever, that you eventually get better and better at navigating and realizing that like your wholeness isn't another person's responsibility. And when you are dating to get that wholeness, you're making your wholeness that other person's responsibility. And then you're setting all these expectations of them, because then when you don't feel whole, you're like you freak out and you worry about your togetherness, and it puts a lot of like undue pressure on yourself and them. And then so you learn to navigate that. And like up until very recently in my life, like I wasn't able to. I just like needed another person to like validate my existence, you know. And that's just so unhealthy, because then you're like a parasite to the person almost. I mean, like, listen, that's really like, I mean, that's not the complete truth, because you know,
because it's also there's another person there who has their own fucking problems, and they're dating you because they've got those problems and like relate to you in a certain way.
Yeah,
and, like,
dude.
Like that's the thing. Like I don't think it's necessarily healthy to always just like be like I'm the problem, and you like of course
no,
like,
you've got
definitely
problems
not. And like, but at the same time, like. Yeah, there are people, like they can make their own decisions. They're like,
no, totally.
You know, and it's also I don't know, we all get caught up in a lot of different shit, and we all like, as I say, like being young is hard. It's very fucking hard to know who you are, and especially in relationships with people, like because you're trying to fight to figure out who you are within this other thing, and you've also got all these expectations from TV, from books, from your own growing up and
Yeah,
parents around
watching your
you,
friends,
like,
watching people older than
exactly.
you,
So
like your
you've got
parents, yeah.
these ideas about how relationships should be and, what to expect. And all these expectations, like, just crumble away in the reality of the
Yeah.
fucking relationship. It's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
it's not like that. It's like, it's closer to, like, all the dramas than it is the rom-coms. Like,
Yeah. Like exactly, dude. And so people like the objective is just to get kind of better and better at, so to like after that breakup, identify what happened and like the part that you played in it, and then the part that just circumstance played in it.
Sure.
And then just like learning a lesson, And I mean, so that's like, it's like the objective is to like all of the old, like the behaviors and the ways of thinking that were like such issues when we were kids or whatever. It's like just trying to not carry that into adulthood. It's how like being a serial dater and whatever, like when you're a kid or growing up, it's like, fine. I mean, like even in adulthood, if that's your thing, like that's cool. But I mean, like I know how for me it was like an unhealthy thing, and I carry that into adulthood.
Well, for me it was a resentment thing, like because I grew up like wanting true love, like wanting to find the one and like all of that.
Yeah.
And then like just got my heart broken repeatedly as a teenager. And then in my 20s,
I remember that actually.
Yeah, dude. And then in my 20s, girls started digging me because like I was a dude on the scene who had a personality and a vibe and like could talk a bit. And like,
and you were like arranging shows and stuff. You were active. You were like busy.
And then I eventually just became an asshole, like because like I was like, oh, girls like me now. Now you fucking like me.
You get what you want, and then suddenly there's just like you disrespect it, and you're kind of like ungrateful for this new attention. You're just like, I'm gonna like turn it back around. I'm gonna like weaponize it.
Yeah, because it was like, it's like, where was this when I needed it?
So I mean, it's that stuff that like, okay, sure, you figure it out. And you realize what works and what doesn't when you're a kid, and some things are rad. They're more there's more freedom or wiggle room to like screw up, In adulthood, where like the road becomes narrower and everything like that.
When you say adulthood, are you saying 30 onwards? Because I feel like that's adulthood.
Yeah, no, it is, and like obviously like a lot earlier for a lot of people.
Sure.
Depending on like gender identity, sex, and whatever. Like
but
a lot
for
of people,
childish man boys.
No, for us, for like cis heterosexual white dudes or whatever, who like, it may be 30. Like I was thinking, am I like middle aged now? I'm 35. Is this technically middle aged?
Who knows? Like, because like, I mean, technically, according to the South African stats, yes. But who knows what science is going to do? Who knows what the average age is going to be when a fucking meteor hits into the earth? It might plummet drastically, and then we're all in old age right now.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. We're what, Twilight years.
I mean, it all depends on how science develops from here on out. But
But I mean, so like what I was saying about that screwing up when you're a kid and then screwing up when you're an adult, it's the same as like how getting drunk and crashing your car when you're like 16 or whatever is, or like ending up with alcohol poisoning when you're 16 is like, like it happens kind of thing. But when you're like 40, it's like, no, something's wrong, man.
Yeah, get your life together.
Yeah, exactly. It's like something's wrong. So it's like that with all of the stuff that like all of the kind of like weird directions and the screw ups when you're a kid that you got to figure out, like, how does this not persist into my adulthood?
Yeah. How much, like, so are you saying a shrink at all? Because like a lot of this stuff sounds like psychology stuff. Okay.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Because like a lot of that, like, Elaine de Botton will tell you, like, dig into your childhood.
I read a lot. I read a lot actually, but not a lot of.
I should send you some books.
Yeah, no, please do. You
read on your phone or computer or...
Fucking, you might cringe when I say this, but like, phone or like, I mean, I try to buy paperback just for like, because it's cool, but I mean, like, I read on my phone. Like,
South African books I buy paperback here, and like anything else, I'll just download it.
Yeah. No, but what I read, what I turn to for perspective, just because when I realized that my plan in changing my life was just like failing to work, like again and again, and this is like when I tried to, because like I knew that I had a problem with this stuff for like a long time, and
the stuff, you mean addiction?
Yeah. I was just in this weird phase for like a very long time where I thought it was just going to like magically stop. Like I didn't know what was going to happen, but I remember it would happen on birthdays where like I'd look in the mirror and I'd be like Jesus, dude, like you don't look good. And I was like, but this time next year, all of these problems that you have right now aren't going to be a thing. Like you might be engaged, you could have like this and that and whatever. And then like the next year would roll around and I would just look like so much worse. And then that's when something sort of clicked or whatever. And it was just like, okay, what do I got to stop this, you know, I got to stop this.
But what happened? Like where everything clicked? Like you don't have, like, you know, I don't know if it is like the like rock bottom story.
No,
or
it's
like,
weirdly like,
or like did your rock bottom hit before and then eventually you were like,
no. What do you mean, like a retrospective rock bottom?
no, like so the thing is like you could have your rock bottom and then like still carry on for a while and then be like, oh shit, like I need to get my shit together because that thing happened, or like
no, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. I mean, obviously I had a lot of guilt for like a lot of stuff that had happened, and like I thought about it every single day, and I was just like, that should not have happened. But no, I mean, so many things that like ostensibly should have been my bottom, you know, like ending up in hospitals, both for like like my body just being like, fuck you, dude, and like stopping to work, and or like psychiatric hospitals, and then like and holding cells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that stuff should have been like, stop it.
But was a lot of the stuff happening in Joburg?
No, all in Durban actually.
What?
Even though like a lot of the stuff was at its most aggressive in no, that's not true. In Joburg is where, so there's this thing in recovery, we talk about like hitting like the fuck it switch.
Okay.
Where you just kind of like give up and everything. You're like, well, we're doing this. But like a negative way, you know? You're just like, there's nothing really left to hang on to or whatever. Like, fuck it, let's go down.
Sounds like my 20s at some points.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were definitely
in like a really
that.
grim way. But there's so a lot of that stuff that should have really, that was a very obvious warning that that my relationship with substances wasn't normal. You know, it wasn't like the next person's relationship with substances. That because like they would go through something and it would be horrible and they'd be like, wow, cool, I'm not going to do that again. Like I've learned my lesson from that, you know? And like, it's a thing, like I read somewhere that like, so it's the difference between like an alcoholic and a problem drinker. It's like, there are two alcoholic, I mean, there's like an alcoholic and a problem drinker.
I'm
like,
looking for validation right here, right now.
Okay, there's an alcoholic and a problem drinker, like in a holding cell. And the problem drinkers all like, oh, because he drank too much. Yeah, they're in a holding cell for DUIs. And he's all like, oh my God, I'm such an asshole. I drank too much. And like, shit, man, I shouldn't have had that fifth beer or whatever. Like, I'm not going to do that again. So he's a problem drinker because he knew there were going to be consequences. The alcoholics are like, fuck, why did I take the M4?
I was thinking that, like, yeah, why did I get caught? Like,
yeah. So that's it. So it's just like not really accepting the responsibility for it, you know? But my actual bottom, was I was home, and at this point I'd been trying to stop for a year, like every day, like for a year. And when I say stop, I mean like with my full determination. Like I was powerless over this thing. Like I was doing everything.
You tried to stop, like, were you able to get like days?
Days. Which is why my 48 days clean was like, it was a really emotional thing for me because like
Did you do that on your own?
No. This was in recovery with like working with other addicts.
Sure.
I would always buckle at 48 hours. So it's just like, so 48 days like isn't like an official milestone or whatever, but for me it was just like, holy shit, like I think this is working. I think this is where I got to be and what I got to be doing. And so that was just like a really emotional thing for me, which is such the random number 48, you know? But no, so my bottom, it happened and it was a fully just emotional and like spiritual one. It was, again, at this point, I'd been trying to stop for a year and I was just like crying in the shower like every morning, just like, please dude, don't do this today. Just like, do not do this today. And then just like fast forward like 40 minutes and I was like on already, you know, just not knowing how that happened. And then I was just sitting. I was really drunk. It was like 8 a.m. My girlfriend like just gone to work. She'd leave for work and I'd just pound like 4 beers like immediately. Jesus. Just to get on, just to be able to like do stuff like with like to start the day, you know. Then I just started thinking, I was just like, every word that I've said to everyone for as far back as I can remember at that point in my life, which like maybe like a year or something, basically every exchange that I had with everyone in the past, in the recent past, and every exchange I was gonna have with everyone in the recent future was a lie. I was just lying to people. I was just being dishonest. I was manipulating people just to protect my
also,
my
'cause
my
how much of it
addiction.
are you hiding? Like,
Oh yeah, listen. I think my girlfriend at the time, she had an idea, but I'd gaslight any action out of her. She'd be like, "Hey, have you been doing something?" And I'd be like, "What? Is it like a trust issue here or something?" Until eventually she
yes,
could, and I mean she was miserable. She was like crying all the time and stuff, and so like she knew, man, and so anyway, just I had that realization, and when I came into recovery, I heard this term, and like I didn't like believe in God or anything like that when I came in, but I heard this term like spiritual bankruptcy, and I just connected with that.
yeah,
I
Mark
just
Maron talks
connected
about
with
that.
Hey,
Mark Maron's mentioned that a couple times.
yeah,
so-
spiritual bankruptcy. Like
Yeah.
it was the first time I'd heard it, and I just connected with it. But anyway, so I just had that realization, and I just messaged a mutual friend of ours who's been in recovery for a while, and I just said, I was like, "Hey, I need help with this thing. Is there any way that I can do it without anyone knowing?" Because I was just like so ashamed of it. I was like so ashamed. And then she responded. She was like, "What?"
Oddly enough, there's a thing for this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. She helped me out so much, and then she just like Shane, bless her, and her husband. Oh my God, I owe them like so much, if not like everything, all of this, because I didn't know what to do, and they told me exactly what to do. They told me, they were like, "Well, I don't know. How seriously do you want to take recovery? Because if you want to take it seriously, then yeah, people got to know about it." I was speaking to a friend a while ago, and you're speaking about these guys that have been clean like many, many years, and how their recovery no longer sort of like defines them or whatever. Like in your first 2 years, like, yeah, fuck, like it basically defines you, It's what you put. And I mean, for the rest of your life, you kind of like put it before everything, because when you put something else before your recovery, like if you lose your recovery, you're going to lose that thing. You're going to lose like everything, So they told me, they were like, "No, there's no way of doing this without people finding out. Like you have to, because this is a thing that you got, and it's going to kill you."
Though? Like with you not wanting people to find out, because like people would know about you jawling at least.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I didn't know the extent. Like when you came back from Joburg and we spoke about some stuff, and like you told me what you'd been on, and like I had no fucking clue. Like things had got there.
Yeah.
Like we partied together, we did drugs together. Like some of my friends definitely had problems that maybe I shouldn't have enabled, but like I might have had a problem too. It's like, well, I don't know, because for me, like I do feel like like I've always been the enabler in situations like this, because like I have a level where I feel like I can tap out, but maybe I didn't, like in my 20s, and like should have. Like I was very caught up in the jaw, but like was pretty functional for a lot of it.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing. Like it was like, I just felt like I was living the Rockstar life. Like,
yeah, exactly, man. Because like that's the thing, is like and so many of us were doing it. So many of us were doing it. So like something like a 5-day bender, whatever, like it wasn't a 5-day bender. It was you and your buddies doing something. Exactly,
because you're working, you're like, you're playing shows. Part of the show thing is drinking, doing drugs. Like, and that's also the thing. The drugs thing comes later, but like the drinking thing starts when you're a fucking teenager.
Oh man, and like that's like definitely like that's like definitely my thing, dude. And it was I remember
you've always loved fucking drinking.
Yeah,
dude. I'm a weed guy, and that I'm so grateful for. But like my problem, my like relationship with alcohol is because like I know like it's too Moorish for me. Like I need to have that shit outside the home, because like if it's inside the home, it's finished.
Oh,
like,
it's no, I get you. I remember when we were kids, dude. Like maybe like fuck. You told me at some point, you were like, "Man, you're definitely an alcoholic." Like we were kids, and
dude, because because you would show up like with fucking beers, like and I'm just inviting you over to watch like How I Met Your Mother, like.
Yeah, dude. So like, yeah, man. Yeah, it's great. So anyway, what were we talking about? Okay, no, so I messaged those people, and then they told me what to do, and then I went and I met with some other addicts, and I met them.
You didn't go like rehab or anything like that.
No, I didn't.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I know there's mixed experiences with that. But
yeah, I mean, like, no, listen, for a lot of people, it's really important just to get separated a bit and go and
sure.
There's no reason that I didn't go to rehab, actually. And listen, like, if my attempt to get clean out, like without going to rehab, had failed. I would have gone to rehab. I'm sure of that.
Okay.
And like, you know, like God willing, like it didn't. Like I'm still clean. So I did my first thing with people. Like I went and spoke to other addicts that were in recovery, and I like wanted what these dudes had, and it was just like, it was so incredible, just like going to like meeting these dudes.
So you saw another life was possible.
Yeah, no, I saw it was, and because like they were just.
Did you feel like I should have just listened to the straight edge music a little? Like
that wouldn't have made a difference, dude. It was like, because it's the whole like dogma thing. There was like, listen, most of my favorite bands are straight edge, obviously. Like, you know,
like Fugazi, fucking yeah.
Which is like, why? It's quite weird. But no, so I went and I wanted what these dudes had, and when they were just sharing their experience, like their strength and their hope, and like what they did to get clean and what they do to stay clean, I was just like amazed when they were speaking about their experience, because like the thing about like an addict is they don't realize that they are God in variety, dude. Like we think that we're like unique, and I used to think, I was like, again, I was speaking to you, I was like, because I was like using, like because of something, not an event or anything, like, wow, I have had the most, like, you got to call it blessed life, because I mean, fortunate doesn't cut it.
Sure.
It's like they call it like a disease of more as well, and that's in like more ways than one. You know, it isn't just like a like one more beer or like one more line or whatever. Like although it is that, you know,
it's that there's always something you need to fulfill.
You just feel lacking all the time. You feel lacking.
Isn't that just life under capitalism?
Hey, yeah, it could be, but the thing is, that's life under capitalism. Not everyone needs to just get and stay high or drunk in order to deal with
but
that.
there are other aspects to the you know, like fulfilling yourself with other things. But the problem is with substance abuse is that like it has such
it's gonna kill you.
That's exactly it. A real like physical effect on you and effect on the people around you.
On your families. Yes, exactly, dude.
Because your actions, you don't realize like we didn't in our 20s, just how much of a fucking asshole you are. Like when you're being drunk and high and like, because cocaine turns you into an asshole. It's fucking fun. But like, not for anyone else.
Exactly, dude. There was someone, I think it was like Fiona Apple said that thing, whatever, when she broke up with or their divorce. God, what was that director? Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh yeah.
What made her stop doing coke was like she was in a theater with Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
And while they were doing coke, and she was like, Jesus, this is an awful experience.
I actually can't imagine anything worse.
I know, dude. Those
Unless
two
you're
guys,
also on coke. Like if you're on coke with them, fine. But like if you're not on coke and you're watching those two guys on coke together,
they're both shitheads, actually. Like I mean,
I don't know about PTA,
as humans, like as humans.
I don't know PTA's story. I just know he's with Maya Rudolph now. So like
they're ethically and morally quite disagreeable with like a lot of things. I think. I listen. I don't know any sordid history or whatever, but like I mean, I can't recall or tell you right now.
It's just obviously Licorice Pizza has a risque thing in it, but
oh, dude,
people can.
But I mean, like Boogie Nights is like such a great film, you know.
Dude, all those films are good. But anyway,
no, exactly. God, what were we talking? Okay, so
recovery.
Anyway,
the whole thing is
we're
about
talking about
recovery
like that. So no, I want to talk about music. Music was fun as well. But I mean, like, so I mean, that's what Carl Jung said in correspondence with Bill W. Who's the guy who him and this other dude were like the founders of like Alcoholics Anonymous. Carl Jung, in correspondence with him, he believed that addiction was a misguided, sort of like violent and reckless seeking for spiritual wholeness. You know, and that's something that I connect with.
Like,
that's something I connect with, because I mean that it perfectly describes that sense of lacking, and that's how that sense of lacking remains no matter how much stuff is now brought into the mix, and stuff that are like, you know, like dream jobs and whatever, and like getting there and just being more like, fuck this shit, like no, I want that, or whatever.
Like being a lecturer?
Hey,
you mean like being a lecturer and like
being a lecturer actually turned out to be something that gives me such fulfillment. And I never thought it would.
Like that's that to me does seem like a dream job to you. Like, so there's like a couple ways I could have seen you going, and like the one is the grandiose, like Hollywood fucking, you know, like writing scripts, like fucking, you know, making dope shit, A24 films kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the other is guiding the youth. Like
and I mean both are really cool and really pretty. And I mean I've taken a big time out from creative output, except with the band, you know, because I mean that's then a responsibility to do it with other people, and like I don't want to be like slacking off and now these guys can't do their thing, you know. So but in terms of like writing and moving forward, there's a lot of fear between where I stand and the film industry for me at this point, just because I wreaked so much havoc in it. You know, if you caught me like a couple years ago, I would have said like, man, like I would have been just resentful of this place and that place or whatever. Sure. But like the truth is like, I did it. Like I wasn't everyone that was a problem. Like I was the problem. Yeah. You know? And I made a real mess of it. And these were like really great opportunities, you know, really great. Kind of just like dream positions, like on the horizon kind of thing. And there was just the stuff that I wasn't dealing with, you know, and the not dealing with that stuff, it just managed to just sort of like, not even brick by brick, but just like sort of like a wrecking ball, just like trash a lot of stuff, you know. And then I made, which was still like the wisest decision I think like I ever made, second to getting clean, you know, was moving back to Durban, actually, back from Joburg. Because if I'd stayed there much longer, like no two ways about it, like I would have died, and it would have like in a real painful for everyone around me kind of way.
Well,
yeah, you know. So in terms, so there's that thing that I still have to work with in terms of like making films or whatever.
I mean, you're like not even just that. Like, I love your writing, dude. Like,
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
For years, like you've always had a way with words that like frustrates me because it's just like. It just flows and I hate it. But like, yeah, like I do want to see more creative output from you, because I've known like not many people I think know that like you're this great writer, like who just never publishes anything. So
yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm really excited to do it again, especially just because like all the stuff that I did write, and I had this thing where like people like girlfriends or friends or family members would ask me, they're like, why don't you write like anything like happy, whatever? And I used to be like,
because I'm not happy.
Yeah, no, I just used to be like, no, but almost like in like a stoked way. I used to be like, nah, I don't write like happy songs. I don't write happy, like, I don't like whatever it is. If it's like short form or long form, whatever, like I don't do that, you know? And now listening back to so like Some Days Most Nights or anything, I listen to it and like, listen, it's a
good song.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I listen to it now, kind of like knowing what I know about myself, and I listen. But I mean,
I think it's more confessional now. Like,
yeah, no, definitely. So it's firstly just like, dude, seek help, and secondly, just like, oh my god, how much are you gonna just pity yourself, my guy? Like, how much are you just gonna pity yourself? Like, your life is so objectively awesome.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're also hanging around like a pity crew in some ways. Like,
sad boy white crew.
Yeah, a lot of depressed dudes, like, you know, hanging together, exactly. Like, definitely does like make for a bleak outlook for everyone.
Yeah, no, sure. Definitely.
And you all like feed into each other's like misery in a lot of ways, and like it is like a enabling kind of situation where it's like, you know, you come to, like I'm just imagining now with hours with some of the band members and histories and stuff. Like, you know, one of you comes with a sad boy song about a girlfriend and everyone's like, yeah, this is, and then another one comes with a sad boy song about their girlfriend and you're like, yeah, because you're like, you all get it and you relate.
It kind of was that. It's so humiliating. I mean, like, I love the songs. I listen to them.
Same,
and like,
dude. You guys wrote some good songs. They're relatable.
It had like, I mean, and not that much. Not a lot of it was like artificial, you know. Like it was genuine, you know. And there was just like a cool angst, but it was like the music that really like supported it. Like musically, there was just like a lot to like sort of like for the listener to like kind of like dig their teeth into, and for us to like really like play around with, which was super different to Mizers, you know, because Mizers
was
like,
Kurt.
Yeah, those were Kurt songs, and like at the time, well, it was like a frustrating thing. Like now, I'm just like, no, man, it was Kurt's thing. It was like his expression of this really.
But the last EP was
it was All of Us, which
was the best thing you guys did.
Coincidentally, like my favorite EP. But I mean, all of those Kurt songs, it was just him like expressing this really, really, really beautiful and powerful and really good thing that he has in him, and that's rad.
That a pop song like no other.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, now it was just rad to like kind of be involved with that. Just to like, even if it was in a way that was just like assisting the homie, like do these things or whatever, like that's just a really cool thing to do and to be a part of. And then to just like give him that, you know? And I mean, they were awesome songs, but like, so with ours, it was just a different situation.
Because
know,
you were
where it
all
was like,
bringing stuff in and
yeah,
also
we're like-
way
like-
more like
from
comic
like
kind of
words,
vibe.
like lyrics to the music, whatever. There was all like very mutual, which was great. So it was just, yeah, we got to celebrate, and more than celebrating ourselves, we were celebrating like each other there. It was cool because like we had all kind of, okay, like Russell. I don't know if Russ.
It was an
wrote
evolution
a lot
of the
shit for-
brohood in that, like, like, because obviously Mizers was like a brohood, like, you
Oh,
guys,
big time. Still is, man. I
Yeah,
feel like I speak
you've
to
got a
those dudes,
WhatsApp
like, every
group.
day. Yeah, we do.
Okay, dude, I have to ask, which drummer is in the WhatsApp group?
Oh god, none of them. Dude.
Oh, that's fine.
None of them, man. And all of them are such great dudes. All of them are such great dudes, and all of them like I don't have like a favorite period in the band. Where it's just like, yeah, it sounded best with like that dude.
No, because each period was its own like distinct thing as well.
Yeah, no, it was like Adam was like a super like jazz drummer.
Yeah, Adam brought like the level up quite a bit. Like, but Ray was like fucking great for when you guys were starting out, and like you guys like were all friends because like it was what Shibby Timster and what was the other band?
God, who knows, man.
Filthy Friend,
Smug
and Mr.
well.
Smug. Yeah,
Ray was really good for ethos. I think when we first started, he had a really cool brain and he had a really cool way of seeing things and thinking about things. That was really cool for us when we were starting, I think. And then Mole was obviously really into kind of like big like stadium stuff.
Yeah, he loved his Foo Fighters.
Yeah, like Biffy Clyro and shit like that. You know? So he just brought that like heavy kind of crashy vibe,
But Adam was just into like the tech shit.
Yeah, and then Steve was just like a really good drummer. He was like really,
he can fill in anywhere there.
Really versatile. I mean, he was like he could drum the shit out of reggae and then some like really gnarly like Norwegian black metal kind of stuff. So no, but there are no drummers in the Mizers group. No sex in the champagne room. But God, who was that? That was Chris Rock. Yeah, sex in the champagne room. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, what was I talking about? Oh no, I was talking about. Okay, so going to that thing with other addicts for the first time, and like one thing because
Ali, look at the back.
Oh, sorry. I read like a lot of Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell's something that really
Heart of Darkness.
Hey,
Heart of Darkness. Joseph Campbell.
No, that's no. Oh God, who is that again? I'm just trying to. That's Conrad.
Joseph Conrad.
Conrad something.
But
I don't know.
One of those words is in the Heart of Darkness. Like,
no, but
sorry,
Joseph.
my bad.
No, I want to throw a Blake in there, but like, there's no Blake in there. I don't know. Anyway, Joseph Campbell.
Jamie, bring that up.
So Jamie. Thanks, Jamie. No, so he's passed like a long time ago. He was a mythologist actually. So like what he did was really interesting. He studied a lot of cultures and tribes and what have you from like all around the world and separated by like millennia. So from like Inuit peoples to like just like indigenous peoples, and he discovered like in their myths, in the stories that they're told and like in their rituals, whatever, like their stories were just so similar, like almost in like a beat for beat. So he created the structure of writing like the hero's journey. Yeah. The hero's journey. So that's Joseph Campbell, the hero's journey.
That's why I know the name.
Yeah. That's why you'd know that name. And
are you sure you're not talking about Dan Harmon's Story Circle?
I'm not talking. I love Dan Harmon's Story Circle. It's great.
They're the exact same thing.
Yeah. So, and then he had this really cool kind of just thought on it, which was spoken about a lot by, like Eastern mysticism back then and like Taoism and Zen Buddhism to a certain degree. And how like all of these things in their stories and how, so again, these guys were separated by millennia and like, so like, just geography.
It's been just the Stoics and the Buddhists, like Zen Buddhists, like having almost the exact same philosophies. Dude. Like,
so Joseph Campbell is on that whole thing of like these lessons, just like emerging from like a unified consciousness. That whole thing, which again is spoken, which is like ultimately like Tao,
Yeah.
and then
The
just
way.
pure consciousness, which is in a lot of just like in many cultures, like more in the East, it's discussed, and it has been discussed since like 6 BCE and whatever. Like it's been a thing in like all of these cultures. So he speaks about
most
that.
cultures weren't monotheistic.
Yeah, no, exactly. So anyway, so he just speaks about how it's like it's remarkable that all of these stories just emerge from these people that obviously that was just so far away. And then so he just goes on to discuss this, and he discusses all like the deities and whatever, and how to him these things are just like they're like so God, Jesus, any one of like so the Abrahamic religions, whatever, and then just like other ones, whatever. They're like signposts that like point towards like another concept. I like the way that he describes it. And I mean, like I have many friends, that are like, I don't find a lot personally in organized religion. There are just some things that that I can't reconcile there. And listen, I'm a lot more like, I was like a huge dick about it for like a really long time.
We've been a complete assholes about it.
We have been.
But I've been on a long journey with that. That's very
you've been on a weird.
Like,
Which is something that is spoken about often. Like, is it often too? Because I mean, so for me, recovery, it's 100% a spiritual thing. It's 100%.
Like so that's the thing. I'm not spiritual at all.
Yeah.
I relate to spiritual concepts, but like that next level just doesn't exist for me. Like I understand what people mean by it, and like like when you're talking about the spiritual void, what's it called?
The spiritual bankruptcy.
Yeah, spiritual bankruptcy and that. Like I get that, but like to me that's metaphorical. Like, so that's all, like, it really is. Like, that's how I understand all these things that people are talking about. Because to me, like, reality is reality. There is literally nothing else. Like, we create all of it. Like, through our experiences and through passing ideas on and through people interacting with them. And, like, it builds and it grows and, like, these ideas. And yes, they are, like, so with the stuff all being the same, to me, that's just because that was the logical conclusions that people would make with what they
come
had.
To.
Yeah.
Like, no, that is listen, I'm really oversimplifying.
I'm just saying, like, to me, the ideas of gods and stuff were the science of the time.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Because I mean, like, because there was no explanation for, like, why is the sun there now? Why is the sun not there now?
And a lot of the spirituality to me is just philosophy. Like,
big time.
That's the things I connect with a lot of spiritual stuff on a philosophical and metaphorical level. It just doesn't get internalized in that way of, like, a deeper meaning, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think this is just because, like, I felt the power of God, like, when I was at church, and then, came to realize that's not real.
It was just a thing that you were making.
Yeah, it was hypnotism.
Just being, like, mesmerized and so overwhelmed.
No, it's literally hypnotism. Yeah. It's literally, like, that. But anyway, your experience.
So, I mean, so being, like being really, really, really vehement and aggressive in my atheism, it was a very difficult thing for me to be like, okay. And it's just because, again, like I was saying, like all of the stuff that I had learned and that I was trying to use to help me in recovery or to get me clean, just wasn't working. And then it got to the point where I was just like, someone just tell me what to do, man. Like someone just tell me what to do. And then I found this thing, and then a lot of them, and it's not that spirituality has like a monopoly on like recovery, there are like tons of dudes that just like put it down, and then that can just put it down that first time and then just like not pick it up, there are some guys, and then some guys that like that get it through religion and stuff like that. Yeah. So this is like this weird space in between those things, and but I had to look. I had to look somewhere else. It was a bit like, like Plato's cave allegory. I was just like, all I was using, whatever, was just like shadows on a wall. It was like, all I really knew was shadows on a wall. And the shadows on a wall, it was a laugh that it was making me use drugs. Like I was dipping in and out of like misery for a long time. And then at the end, it was just all misery, and then just like, so I connected a lot with Plato's cave allegory. And then I was just like, wait, maybe, just maybe I'm in a fucking cave here. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's like a really poor interpretation of that.
I mean, sure.
No, it's a really poor interpretation. But if we're just using like the imagery or whatever, and like anyone who's like big on like philosophy or like Plato or whatever is just gonna read everything I say here, whatever, like, man, from like recovery, whatever, like I'm no authority on this, like, I mean, there's if
I don't think
if
people
someone
are
wants
coming to this podcast for
I
authority.
know, definitely. But I feel like, yeah, there are other people that know a lot more, and I know very little. Again, I mean, I'm so new to this, but I just, all I can speak about is the stuff that spoke to me and got me to like where I am, and these are the things. And even so, if they're like sort of like not complete understandings of it, whatever, they've just served such essential value. And then, so that took me to Joseph Campbell, and Joseph Campbell started speaking about this thing that like wasn't like the Christian God. It wasn't this or whatever. It was just something like the Tao. It was like imageless, unnameable. Like, I mean, the first line of like the Tao Te Ching is like the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao.
Exactly.
So it's just like, if you think it's God, if you can comprehend it, like it ain't God.
Which is funny because Jesus said, "I am the Word." The Word is me.
That's crazy, dude. And I mean, again, I've nothing against, besides like, I don't know, besides like systemic things and like dogmatic things, whatever. I try not really have as much of an opinion on stuff that like I cannot change, or people that brings stuff that isn't harming other people.
That's my
in like a personal way, like a lot of joy, And I mean, like, so there's a lot of stuff like organized religion and whatever, and like it's all stuff that like has really defeated the point of I believe like what it began.
Oh, 100%.
No, definitely.
So that's my
like, filled with agenda.
With
stuff got like not like redacted, but stuff got like taken out of it. Stuff got put into it.
It's all political. Like,
yeah, definitely.
What people need to look at when it comes to the history of every religion is look at the politics of the time, and you will see why it changed, when it changed, how it changed, what rules were there, and it's always just the ruling classes within that society trying to manipulate people a lot of the time.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Exactly, dude.
But to me, that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a God. I don't think there is, because of my own personal experiences and stuff like that. But I don't bemoan anyone else for believing it, because life is fucking weird, dude.
Life is strange, dude.
Like, how the fuck do we get here?
Like,
this what do you mean? Millions of years of evolution. Like, I get that. That's a weird thought.
So, there's like the soteriology of it and the cosmology of it, which I both find like really fascinating. And it requires like a lot of open-mindedness on my side, which is I'm fucking arrogant, dude. I'm so stubborn and closed-minded and whatever. So like a part of this whole thing for me growing is to actually be open-mindedness, and just like it's just insane how all the stuff that I thought was so dumb for my entire life has ended up being the stuff that saved my life. It's crazy.
So I'll be honest with you there. The meditation, the yoga, the like fucking watching Alan White's videos is all stuff I would have made fun of myself for fucking 5 years ago. But like pandemic hits, and all those things like literally kept me
definitely.
Like, from, and times it didn't. Sometimes, because also like, there would be months where like I'm going to talk about this on the show tomorrow, but there were months where I would spend like 3 months doing fucking yoga every morning, working out every afternoon, meditating, fucking writing, doing all the things, and then there'd be 3 months of drinking alone, fucking watching BoJack Horseman in the dark.
Yeah, dude.
So for me, like, I have definitely found like that, like, a lot of that stuff that I would have made fun of is just dope. Like, I hate
it's
like
really cool.
the fucking the bells and whistles around a lot of it,
That's very much not your thing. For me, like I began as
I like the tools.
Exactly.
Give me the tools.
Give me the function part. Okay. Cool. It's like when we were speaking about TM, and
you're saying this is exactly where I wanted to go.
TM's cool, but then there's the whole
there's part of it.
There's the ritual where like you got to offer the sweet fruit, and you light the candle, and you got to buy a handkerchief and stuff like that.
And you've got to go to like, so we can get into TM because. Did you get into it because of David Lynch?
We've got like a whole bunch of unfinished things.
God damn.
Yeah, but no, but
how long do you have, by the way? Because we can talk for.
No, I'm fine, dude.
Okay. So this one.
No, I took leave today, so it's okay. I just got to check, but I'm still kind of on the clock. No, but I'm in no rush, dude. But yeah, no, 100%, absolutely David Lynch, because I idolize David Lynch, but also he was speaking about this thing that I felt like I needed, that would really, really help me with the way that I was feeling.
He was the reason why, like, I went into a lot of the journey, but like, the more I researched TM, I didn't like the bells and whistles around it.
There's a lot.
Like, but the method, like, so I'll break it down simply from my understanding, because I haven't gone to a TM, like, teacher or anything, but you did.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So you can tell me what the actual experience is like, but I just, realized, like, I learned that the whole thing is you just need a mantra that you repeat out loud for 20 minutes, and that's basically it.
Yeah. Dude, so why a teacher is good, and it's like, listen, they're good for many reasons, but the main reason for me was just because I'm so critical, and I'm so
I'm doing it right.
yes, exactly. And so there's that
There's
paranoia.
a lot of that when it comes to meditation.
Exactly. There's that paranoia, that just completely eliminates
because
the
nothing
experience.
happens for like months. Like
yeah, I don't know. For me, it started happening
maybe
really
not months, but like
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. No, definitely.
Like the first time you do this shit, you're like, nothing happened. Like for me,
yeah, exactly. You're like, wait, I didn't go anywhere. I didn't like cross a threshold or anything like that.
Yeah, it's like I just wasted 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So you feel like you're not doing it right, Yeah, no. So I was taught TM, and it was cool. Like it was cool, but I mean, with like everything else being such like a nightmare. The process?
Yeah, so like you went to a teacher, you said they taught you. How long did you go to them for?
Like 3 days, dude. 3 days.
Oh, did you just go for one course?
No, 3 days. Oh man, I didn't like go to the mountains for like a month or something.
Oh, you didn't do the whole like
no,
shtick.
no, I didn't. No, okay. I didn't. Because it obviously it costs money to learn that.
Well,
thing.
so that's why I didn't do it, because it costs a couple grand to like do it. And I mean, I know. Wow, so this is the first time this has happened in a long time. But we are recording off of the Zoom, and the batteries died. So yeah, good old it's one of those things. And I even had like other batteries charging, and I was like, these are charged enough. Like I am prepared. So,
yeah, that's being an adult, bro. That's crazy.
But I didn't think we'd go this long, I guess. So like, if it had been an hour, would have nailed it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're talking about TM. And how like some of the ritualness of it is like helpful, or
no. Listen, I'm just fascinated by all of it, and again, that's just it's like exercising open-mindedness. But that's the beautiful thing about TM, and all of these. Just if it's like spiritual seeking or just reading stuff, whatever. Like the entire point is like you can take what you need and leave the rest.
Amen.
Like you can take what you need and leave the rest behind. Like that's completely okay. It isn't like, so that's really beautiful.
That's my journey.
Yeah. No, exactly. No, that is it.
Although that is like postmodernism, like at its fucking core, and like fucking what's his name, Jordan Peterson would just be like, fucking traditional, like tradition is all that matters.
Man, listen, God.
Whereas like I do like, I mean he's not the only one who criticizes the postmodern life, in that like, you can pick up, like you can be, like you can have Buddhist and Christian principles. I mean, there are principles within both those things. That cross over. But like, like that you can, be Buddhist, and you can listen to punk rock, and you can like do all these different things. And it's like, yeah, you fucking can.
Exactly,
like that's the
dude.
cool thing now. Like it's like, you don't have to be so dogmatic about like, I am this thing.
Yeah, no, exactly, dude. Like, I mean, you want to experience like a lot of everything. That's the point. So
not too much of everything, as you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, you want to experience a lot of life.
But that's the thing. There's more to life.
Yeah, exactly. You want to experience a lot of life, not a lot of trying to control yourself and your life. Basically, you just want to see like life is powerful, man, and like there's a lot of like, and this is coming from a place of like extreme privilege here, but like there's like. Life is like to me lately. It's like a fucking miracle, dude. Like
100%.
Like my day, I wake up and I enjoy like the miracle of life, like every day. And I mean, it's a brand new thing to me. And I mean, that's just speaking personally.
Well, have you also obviously been dealing with depression alongside this shit then?
Yeah, no, and with, I mean, continue, like. Like
because what you're talking about
like
sounds like coming out of depression,
No, and then going back into it. I mean, I wouldn't call it depression because it isn't for like long episodes, but like all of the fear and the anxiety and the panic and all of the stuff that got me so like deep into like fucking whatever is still very much there, and it presents itself. But that's because like, I mean, I can't remember where it's from, but I know Alan Watts does talk about it. I think it might be from like Zen Buddhism, but he's like. Once you lose the illusion that like we're meant to have a happy life, like it's cool because we're meant to have a human experience.
Hey, fucking man.
We're meant to have a human experience. Like if something's just like happy, or you just live with this like beatific vision, it's gonna become like just cosmically
what the fuck does
boring.
That mean? You just said a word like that I don't know.
Beatific vision.
Yeah,
it's from like Beowulf, dude.
Shit! Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's like it's beautiful. Like everything's beautiful and great all the time, whatever, and you never had to stress about like or get scared for this thing, whatever, or if everything's just great for so long, whatever, it becomes like insipid, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like, and also when you're just straight up, like, and again, this is just speaking from my personal experience because I can't speak for anyone else. And there's so much fucked up shit that people are going through that, like, again, I can only speak about like my experiences and like what's happening for me. Like, if things like stay at that level of comfort for so long, there's absolutely no need to grow. And growing always means dealing with pain.
Pretty much.
Growing pains is a thing, because there's fear, there's being scared that you're going to suck. There is actually sucking, and then there's learning from that.
I mean,
and then,
you're talking about the process of literally learning anything.
Anything. And so it's weird. It's weird how we kind of consider that when we think about like tasks and skills or whatever, but we don't think about that in terms of living.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? It's crazy. So we're so terrified. I know I am. I'm terrified. You asked me like why I didn't want people to know about it, whatever. It's because I am so afraid of the way that I am perceived by people. It's been a huge thing for me. I'm so worried what the next dude thinks of me. And it's something that like a guy that's really helped me in recovery has told me like often. He's like, what people think of you is none of your business.
A fucking man.
Yeah. He's like, what people think of you is none of your business, my dude. You just gotta
live your life.
You just gotta do the right, like just do the right thing. Like just carry on doing the right thing. Just help that person. Like you don't gotta like him, but you gotta love him in like a weird way, And
Christian shit.
So no, that's like the ethos in addicts helping one another, because I mean,
that's fair. Because addicts, like, I can imagine there must be some. So that's also the thing. Why, like, I think like the recovery method that you went with instead of like rehab might be slightly better, is because rehab has people who are still like recovering from just being on drugs, like
exactly,
all together talking about their shit. Whereas like the other recovery methods where like you can get together in a group and talk about it together, there's people there who have like years of experience and like I feel like that is a bit more comforting almost if you go into it, like instead of like the whole like rehab seems pretty fucking traumatic. Like, to be completely honest, chatting to people who have been to it, I mean, sometimes it seems pretty chilled.
Depending which facility.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're at one of those, but even that, when it's chilled, it's probably pretty bad sometimes because, like then shit's easier. Like, you're not actually recovering.
Yeah.
Like,
so what rehab is, what's so important about rehab is that some people, they need to like kind of go away for a bit to like, so there's that whole thing of like, let's say you left a tap on upstairs and now your house is flooding, whatever. You don't just like try like sweep away the water, whatever. You got to go turn off the fucking tap.
Fair.
And treatment for a lot of people is that. It's a place that they go to like put the cork in the bottle or whatever,
fair.
And then, so there's still like recovery. It's a maintenance thing as well. So typically, like a lot of people, they'll go to treatment and then they'll come out
and
they'll still carry on working with like other
program.
Other addicts in recovery. Yeah, a program. Yeah, I just went that route from the get go. I just sought out. I was pointing towards. I can't say I sought out anything. Again,
because
the friend that helped me out just told me exactly what to do, and that was what I wanted. Because again, at that point, I was just like, someone just tell me how to do this, because like I'm this is too much pain. So it's what they say about recovery, and it's like a critical mass. It's like when just the pain of change is like less than the pain of staying the same. And so basically. So that had happened and I was ready for it and I wanted it, and like one day at a time, like just for today, like I really want it, so I'll just carry on doing the stuff that I have to do, which is helping others. And that's something I've never done my entire life, dude.
You've never really been like...
never done that. I've never done that.
Yeah, you've been
like
pretty self-involved, dude.
I've been so selfish my entire life, dude. I've only ever thought about myself and viewed things from the context of myself. Like something bad happens to a person, I'm like, how's this going to affect me? Like, dude, that's honestly like the truth. And just like this whole thing of like, how is like if I'm like in like a staff room or something and one of my colleagues gets like called to speak to like the boss or whatever, the first thing that goes through my mind is just like, it's like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah,
that's
what, me, though, but that's from school.
Yeah. Well, that's like evidenced by like, oh, I did that thing wrong. But like, even if I've done nothing wrong, my thinking's just like, what did I do to that person? Like, what are they talking about? Like, what are they talking about me? And just so that's just completely self-obsessed.
Yeah,
completely self-obsessed
paranoia.
Yeah, exactly. So I've never really
relate to that.
And so now the recovery, it's given me an opportunity to be of service to like people, which I never have been.
And that
And it's
gives
also-
you like, fucking
It's
something
what
to live for.
yeah, it's what keeps like a lot. It's what like it's how you grow in recovery, because you learn so much about yourself while doing it, and also just because it's so like non-transactional. It's like and it isn't giving physically in terms of like there's no cash involved or anything like that. It's like a give physically, receive spiritually.
Yeah,
kind of
you
thing.
really shouldn't give addicts cash anyway.
No. But yeah, so what were we talking about?
Well, we were talking
What were we
about,
talking about?
we were saying
moved on from
love
TM.
people. Pardon, yeah. But,
Yeah, no.
but,
Okay,
like,
yeah, no.
you,
So
you don't have to like them, but you have to them. And it is because I was saying like, yeah, there's characters. I know more characters from rehab than AA, because like a lot of the people I know who went to rehab went back a few times and then carried on doing drugs. So like that's why I do like I've got my own issues like with the certain recovery programs because of certain dogmas and stuff, but I also don't know what the reality is, and I appreciate how much recovery programs help people. And I see the genuine like. That's the thing. Like, who cares about the dogma if it saves someone's fucking life? Like, in my mind, and like I know multiple people who have had their lives changed for the better, and it's
big time.
And it's like it's one of those things where I'm like, like sometimes I feel like, oh, I wish I could have done something, but it's also like people gotta do shit for themselves. Like, recovery is a thing that like you have to choose, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's someone will get clean like when they want to get clean, so it's when that whole thing happens, when the pain of changing is less than the pain of staying the same.
We didn't actually quite talk about we started on your bottom, the 4 beers in the morning, lying to your girlfriend.
So I just like I was just like lying to everyone basically, and then I just like I'd noticed it before, but this time it was just like a full realization of like just like I was like I was in so much pain, and I was just so like on the brink of like it just being over, and I was totally alone. Like no one had a fucking clue like what was happening at that time, and I felt that spiritual bankruptcy. I felt like I describe it as like when I started wanting to get clean, and then I was just trying really hard, but it just wasn't working. I felt like everything that like I'm meant to be, or that my purpose is, or that's like beautiful about me, whatever, had kind of like was like leaking out of a crack that I had like in me, whatever, and it was just leaking out and whatever. And then I just saw like, so now it's just empty of all that goodness, and then I was just getting filled up with bad. And I just like look in the mirror and I just like fucking spit, and I just be like, fuck you, dude. Like that was my relationship just with myself at that point. And then, and with others as well. And then just something smarter than me, that part of my brain just like, I don't know, just like KO'd for like 5 minutes, dude. And like this other part of me, which is like, I mean, it's like when Alan Watts and these dudes, they speak about like, this consciousness, or like Taoism speaks about like, the Tao that exists in you that's not separate from anything else.
Yeah.
I don't remember having the intention to like, I am going to message this person now, whatever. It just sort of happened. I just messaged that person and they told me what to do. And then I would love to say that I stopped drinking once they told me what to do, but I carried on for that day. I carried on. And then the next day.
Bro, that sounds like actually exactly how it would go. Like I wouldn't imagine you're 4 beers deep already. Like,
yeah, dude, it was probably more, man.
No, but you know what I mean. Like the thing is, it's when you're on a substance, it's not necessarily the best time to get off of it.
Yeah, exactly. So what they say about this thing is that like it's a threefold illness, So there's the physical aspect of it, which is the phenomenon of craving.
Yeah.
Like even though your body is like, fuck you, stop, you just kind of can't.
Yep.
Then there's the mental aspect, which is the obsession of it. So like when I woke up, I was just like obsessed with drinking. Like I had to do it because like everything else just seemed really difficult, and I had to do that in order to be able to do this kind of thing. And then there's that spiritual aspect they mentioned, which is what Jung said, that misguided search for spiritual wholeness. there was something else I wanted to say about Jung. Yeah, no. So when we were speaking about deities and stuff like that, and whatever. And you were speaking about like, how like the world is crazy and shit and whatever. So like one thing. So when I first started this whole thing, so Campbell pointed me towards Jung. Yeah,
like
pointed me
Jung.
towards Jung, and then with Jung, like he spoke on it was some radio station, and the guy asked him, he was like, "Do you believe in God, whatever?" And he was like, "I don't have to believe, I know." Like, and then there was like a lot of puzzling over that. People were like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And they're like, "Wait, is he like, so does he belong to like this church or like that religion, whatever?" And eventually, just to like shut everyone the fuck up, he kind of like wrote a letter to the BBC, and what did he say, man? I do remember it, but I'm probably gonna mess it up. He's like, so God is the name by which like I designate everything that violently and recklessly crosses my willful path and upsets my subjective point of view, my opinions,
So
and
God
my
is the
intentions.
devil to him.
No, and my intentions, changing my life sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. So God is just the stuff that we can't control. And then like what Campbell went on to elaborate that like, so this thing is definitely real. Stuff happens that we are not in control of. Sometimes we end up for better, sometimes we end up for worse, because sometimes we do end up for better, dude. Like I know that if like all of my plans had to go like according to plan, like I wouldn't be here, man. Like if something hadn't severely screwed with my plans, and by something I mean like many variables and many sequences.
Bro, if my life had gone well, I would definitely be cancelled because I would have been a complete asshole.
Dude, if all of our like best laid plans or whatever like worked, like it would have been really bad. And some of the worst things that have happened,
we'd probably be doing rails together right now. Dude,
exactly. Some of the worst things that have happened to me were absolutely the best things that happened to me, because it was like that whole dark night of the soul, you know, and that absolute pain. So it's like how Hegel, man, like he posed that, you know, for like consciousness to awaken itself, it had to like create this like unbearable suffering, whatever. But I mean, so I just know like a lot of those things, it either steered me in directions or it taught me something about myself. But in one way or another, there was growth from it. You know, yeah. I mean, there's no like denying that things in my life have happened like just way outside of my control. You know, so then like I was kind of like and again, so like I was telling you about my place, and like, sure, listen, I did it the hard way, because a lot of people like find a higher power and whatever. There's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's more effortless, but again, for me, just being that a certain way my entire life, my ego and my thinking, and also like being an academic, you know, whose job essentially is to deconstruct things and unpack things and look for the faults and things or whatever. I was just like, oh, fuck Jesus, how am I going to do this? How am I now going to like kind of just be all like leap of faith into something? I was like, oh my God, is this whole thing going to work for me and whatever? But
then you realize that life is just one long leap of faith.
Exactly, dude. That's what it is. So what Jung said, what I was just like, well, sure, that stuff does happen, whatever. And then Joseph Campbell expanded. He was just like, yeah, so knowing that this is definitely a reality, there is stuff outside your control, the best thing we can do is try to have a benevolent, and if not that, like then so an advantageous, if not benevolent, then at least like an accepting relationship with this thing. I mean, because acceptance was a hard thing.
This is Camus shit right here. This is Sisyphus rolling the like, you know, one must imagine Sisyphus happy. Like dude.
Yeah, man. So then like and because I mean that's another thing for like a personality like mine is like I'm stubborn. I find it hard to accept things that I don't like, you know, and then I try control and I try to change those things. And because just life is so fucking powerful, you can't really change much but yourself, you know, in my experience.
Hopefully change
exactly. Yeah. But the responsibility begins with you, I think. And again, this is just speaking personally from a place of like, I can call it absolute privilege, dude. That the only thing I can really change like is myself. And then, but through that, I'm able to make a positive impact in small ways or in big ways or whatever, but it's some positive impact, which is something that I've never done my entire life, you know. And
I mean, I've never really understood the saying of charity begins at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like it kind of does. It's like sort your own shit out and then you can help other people.
Dude, I mean, so like with like one of the recovery programs, that's like a thing. And so it's like the 3 whatever. So it's like, clean God, clean God, clean house, help others, trust God. Those are the things. So clean house. So just like sort your shit out, basically. Just make sure that you're doing the right thing.
And trust God really just means accept life. There.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It means that. It means just be patient with things.
Sorry.
Not everything's about you, my dude.
Sorry, I went straight to that one, but
no, it is. And then help others. Yeah, just help others. And then I've also figured out like where I can help others.
But those are like the three like tenets of like every religion.
Yeah, exactly. Of
all of them ever.
Yeah,
like,
that you really want them to like get it
but
right.
even Satanism's actually pretty close to that
Yeah,
as well.
no, it's not far from it, man. It's not far from it. And that's it. I know. Listen, I know barely anything. So I'm speaking here about how like there are irreconcilable differences between me and organized religions, whatever. I know very little. I know very little.
Oh yeah,
it would be a very.
It's a passion.
It'd be a very douchey thing for me to say, like and like I don't want to say like fuck these guys and like whatever, just because there's absolutely nothing I can do.
We'll say fuck Scientologists. Actually, I'm going to edit that out. I'm not.
Yeah. And then another cool thing has just been figuring out like where I can help, because I did have this thing. Listen, I'm a very self-centered person, and I am prone to acting very selfishly unless I'm aware of it. When I'm aware of it, then I can do the other thing, you know?
Because like that's also the thing, is sometimes you don't necessarily know you're being an asshole because you're so self-centered.
Yeah, dude.
I know that
that's
from myself and from dealing with you.
Yeah. So fuck you. No, but absolutely, dude. Definitely. Like, because at the end of the day, I think, man, there's no way that people don't. Listen, some people are more aware than others, but like there is this weird there's like this intuition that like maybe it's at the end of the day, maybe it's like a month after thing, whatever, but there's like this little like I shouldn't have done that kind of thing. And for me, it remains, and it just gets bigger, and almost just like the area around it gets like gross and infected. And eventually it's just like, it's just like there's like guilt and shame and anxiety and fear of like, is that who I am kind of thing. And like, whereas the truth is like, yeah, that's something that you can do if you don't sort your shit out and like just learn to not kind of do that again, sort of thing.
Yeah, but you also like, I guess a part of the process is accepting that sometimes you are going to do it again.
Exactly.
Like fucking up's inevitable, but what do you do after you fuck up?
Absolutely, dude. Yeah. Absolutely. You just you repair. You try your absolute best. You be willing to fix what you've just done, because sometimes you can't, sometimes people that
100%,
we've done wrong
Jesus.
by have like die or something, and then so you can't get stuck in that like, well, I can't make I can't better this.
I mean,
whole
it's
thing,
also
whatever.
sometimes they just don't want to hear it. Like
exactly.
I know from my experiences. So like I like have done like reparations, well not reparations, but like I've apologized to many people like for my behaviors over the years, because there was a period where like I started becoming a bit more woke, as they say.
Yeah.
And just did analyze my own behavior and did like this sounds like terrible to say, but it's the fucking truth. It's once I started to see women as people again.
Like, oh shit. Wow.
No, because I mean I did. I had a lot of resentment, and I didn't necessarily like treat women well like in my early 20s. Like 100%. Like that's the truth. I was dealing with a lot of issues, and I put those issues onto people, and so I went back and apologized to some of them, and some of them blocked me. Like, so,
which they have every right to.
Exactly. I'm just like, fucking fair enough. But like, going through that process, because that was just a personal choice. Like that was just a holy shit. I've been a fucking like I've been in a haze of like self-involvement, essentially, of just like seeing the world and seeing the world as only my own world, and seeing people as like just responses to me, like essentially, like they're not like their own person, they're someone reacting to me.
Exactly, dude. That's it. That's exactly like, oh man, you're speaking my language here, dude.
Yeah, we were similar in some ways.
Yeah. And I'm not putting like an all lives matter thing here, but like eventually like
okay, as to
it for me was like you weren't treating women like people. Like I wasn't treating people like people. Well, I wasn't considerate of like anyone's.
Well, if you kind of look at like what we've been saying about assholeness at that time, like exactly.
Yeah,
I'd say like women in particular, but there were a lot of people who I was just being an asshole to then. But,
and it's for me a lot of it. It's the and I speak to a lot of people about this. It's it begins with the being willing, you know. So if there are some amends that you can't make or whatever, just that being willing to do it, it's okay, you know, because that is because a big part of recovery, and it's a really healthy thing, is to just kind of, and it's something I have to do at a later stage, is you basically have to, everything that I've gotten away with in my life, I have to not get away with. Basically, I need to tell like the person like what happened and everything. And I mean,
there's no fucking chance in hell I will ever do that.
Yeah,
bro.
See,
like there's some people who are like, I've apologized to because they know about things and blah blah blah, but like, you don't know about the shitty things I did. You're not going to know.
See, like I have to deflate my ego
shit.
to that degree.
It's not my ego. It's like, well, maybe it is.
It is your ego. It is your ego. You don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to be humiliated. You want the person to forgive
that
you,
experience.
And maybe they're not. No, exactly. No, it's like, man, it's gonna be a shitty experience, and like, and listen, it's probably also going to be a shitty experience for the other person.
Well, that's more than like what I'm worried about. Like, it's more like, oh, here's the thing you didn't actually even know about, like, but like I did, that's horrible. Like,
so if it's not going to be helpful for them, so it's like you try not get away with things you got away with, unless doing so is going to injure the person. In which case, because while you're doing that sort of thing, it's very freeing for you as well. Because I mean, like, if I had to make amends to like most of the people, but not two, I would go on for the rest of my life to obsess over those two people.
Sure.
So it's like if I'm going to clean this thing, I'm going to clean this thing, you know? And so like the personal benefit is that I get to do that. I get to do that, and that's beautiful. And then there's a lot of healing that comes from that.
Its own version of this.
What confession?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, it's
slightly different.
Yeah, it's a lot more than confession, because the whole thing is like, if you broke a dude's window or whatever, you got to go back and replace that window. You can't be like, sorry, I broke your window, bro.
That's even worse. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing, dude. It's like a whole thing. So, fuck, what were we talking? Okay.
This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, okay, we're talking about this. But I don't know if it was meant to return to a point. But no, so we were speaking about like helping others and whatever. Yeah. So another thing that I realized about myself is that I can seldomly afford myself the opportunity to get angry about stuff.
Wow.
Because something just becomes uncontrollable in me, and it's very threatening to my recovery, you know.
I understand that.
And even if it's
the
just
times that like I head into the booze, is like if I'm angry, like
exactly,
it's
or resentful,
like it's like
exactly, dude, exactly. So that's why I mean, so like going out isn't like quote unquote triggering for me.
I've wondered
or whatever.
about that.
Going out isn't no.
But it's also you go out with the crew, and like you guys all like seem to like, you know, be there for each other.
Oh yeah, no, totally, dude. But I just want to wrap up this point, because otherwise we're going to... So yeah, I mean, like, it isn't good times that would make me want to drink. And I mean, just for today, like, I don't have the desire, you know, because of doing the stuff that I do. I've like the desire to use has been lifted.
But when there are emotional...
Yeah, but when it's emotional thing. So it's like, it's the emotional, it's fear and anger and resentment, whatever. Like the times where I'd hit the fuck it switch is where something had just happened and I was extremely like embarrassed or like angry, whatever, is when I'd be like, oh, well, fuck this.
And I guess the problem with the fuck it switch, especially for you, would have been that it just stays on.
It stays on again. Like, and it would just, and then for longer and longer periods of time, like as I got older, you know, until eventually it was just 24/7. Like that was just my life, you know, it was just my life. And like every moment where like, I remember once I had to get loaded before, and this is, I'm not making this up, before I spoke to my grandmother. I was so anxious. Jesus. I was so anxious, and I was just thinking like, I was just like what's this conversation going to be about? Like, what are we going to say to each other? Like, is it going to be? I was thinking about like awkward pauses,
to take off the edge.
And so I needed to take off the edge for a conversation with my grandmother. So like, see, that was the sort of stuff that was the sort of stuff that it got to the point where like that would trigger me, you know. And so good times and stuff don't trigger me. It's getting angry, whatever. So I need to be very, very selective with things that. So which is why like, and I mean like. I haven't backed off away from causes, whatever. I can't be as vocal and there and whatever as I can. Like, because that will just render me incapable eventually, and I wouldn't be able to do anything to help. Because
I actually find like that to be pretty relatable because like my like depression shit leads to alcohol shit for me. Like and like my depression often doesn't come from my own life. Like my life's pretty rad. Like my depression comes from the world. Like it always has.
No,
like
totally.
I've spent my entire life like like fucking chatting to me has not always been the most posy thing.
One way to put it.
Yeah, like I can be pretty negative about the way the world is about things and that. And like, yeah, for me, taking steps back and just like understanding that, bro, you can't care about everything. Like, it will break you. Like,
no, dude. Or just try be a part of. Listen, you can in your own way be a standing solution.
Of course,
just
but you can't care. You can't do it all. Like, I can't help fucking kids getting shot in America. Like, I just can't. That's not a problem I can help with. But I can fucking give a kid a blanket outside. And I know that's like controversial in certain ways or whatever. People have their own fucking theories about how to deal with homeless people. Mine is give them fucking money and clothes because they need it.
Dude, definitely. But like,
but there are bigger ways to deal with things. And, But as I was saying, it's more like about not getting too despondent about the global issues and figuring out ways to actually be helpful.
Exactly. No, for me, so it's getting despondent and getting angry, like I can't, something could infuriate me so hard. I can't actually allow myself, and again, this is just personally speaking, I can't allow myself to go on Facebook and like write a fucking angry status about it, whatever, because I'm just gonna get worked up. And when I get worked up, like there are dangerous ends to it.
We were literally the kings of like
I know, dude. And like no wonder I felt so sick all the damn time, But I mean, so like what recovery has given me is a place where I can help people, and it's what I do. It's like I spend a lot of time like doing it, because it's also something. It's like this whole thing was given to me. Like it was literally given to me.
I mean, you chose to.
Yeah, no, I chose to be willing enough to go.
Continue to choose.
And then I chose
and every day is a choice.
No, so there's a choice. But I mean, like this whole thing, this way of life and whatever, it was given to me. And there's like 100% absolute responsibility to just tell people that this is a thing, that recovery's here. Like it's possible. Like it's not that far away. You just gotta be willing for it. And I mean, like, listen,
far away. Don't fucking lie.
It's not. Well, I mean, like,
it's not, but it is.
There are addicts in recovery everywhere, dude. I honestly think that everyone knows some people in recovery.
No, of course. Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I say it's not that far away, I mean, well, when I call that out, it's more like, no, it's a journey.
Oh no, I mean, like geographically, it's not that far away.
It's like, because the thing is, like, it's not a overnight thing.
Yeah, no, it's not a destination. It's not somewhere you get to. That's why, like, I mean, there's the whole like recovering thing.
Yeah.
And so I mean, like, I'm in recovery. I'm gonna be in recovery.
Can you ever be a recovered alcoholic?
I don't know. There are. I don't want to say like schools of certain schools of like alcoholics, whatever. But I mean, there was like some debate. I don't know, man. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it can be kind of dangerous, I guess, because like I mean, we've had friends who've been in recovery and then thought they could handle stuff and then had to go back to recovery.
So that is what happens. It's called complacency, basically, because what happens is you're in recovery sort of long enough, your life becomes manageable again. You've healed the relationship with your wife, with your kids, with your parents. Like you got a job. You're living good again, and then you just forget all of that stuff. You forget all of that stuff, and you're like, you think like, this is my life. You totally forget that you're like a drug addict because your life is so manageable and so rad that you just forget.
Nobody else does.
Yeah, dude. And then that's how people slip, and then like, that's what's beautiful about it as well. It's like people slip. And like, I mean, what we do know about this disease is that it'll kill you. It kills people, So I mean, so that's the issue. That's what's really scary about people, about like slipping and stuff like that. But the beautiful thing is that it's always there, and like, you're gonna get nothing but so much fucking love if you've slipped and you like reach out to another addict or whatever. They're just gonna fucking do everything they can to help you in your recovery, So that's a cool thing. So because there's not much I can do with a lot of social justice things. There's not much I can do with a lot of like infrastructural things or whatever. But this is like one place where like I can like as a person, and then with other people, you know, we get to kind of just help, and that's cool. I've never had that before, so it's like a very fulfilling thing that I'm really grateful for, and it's something that's such a hugely important thing for me. Like, I mean, you check me here, like checking my phone, like all the time, whatever. Like, I didn't used to do that, dude. And I'm not looking for like work
you were
stuff.
someone who like fucking sometimes didn't have your phone for 3 days. So.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, it's cool. Like, it also gives me a very full life, and just because like so helping others is such a big part of it, because like when you're just so hung up on your own shit and your own problems, whatever, and you're just sort of like gnawing on this bone trying to like think, and you're obsessed and whatever, like the most effective break you can take from it is just by going and help. There's someone somewhere that could use a hand with something. And for me, I'm really fortunate because like being a teacher, there's always a student that's struggling with something, you know. There's always like I don't know, like a friend who I could just like get in touch with, or someone in recovery. You just like check up on them, whatever. But I mean, like, so in big ways or small ways, but when you spend that time helping someone else, you come back to your own stuff with like a really like a feeling of purpose, you know.
I mean, I think that is the big like thing with addiction, is a lack of purpose. Like it's like
because it takes away all of your purpose until you eventually believe that you just cannot do anything. You've maybe burned so many bridges, or you've trashed so many things, or maybe the fear of doing stuff has just become so great that you don't have a purpose anymore.
Yeah,
the fear of doing stuff. So then you're just like, I mean, you're just by yourself in a room. Your friends are gone. And it's just you, and it's just like pain, you know.
Welcome to the pandemic.
Exactly, man. And that's what, so we were speaking about how like you got into like Alan Watts and meditation, whatever, during this pandemic. So it almost was for ever like on a global scale. And I mean, it was so devastating, you know, but in a way for just like people as individuals who weren't like immediately affected in ways like they were losing family, or they were like losing jobs and whatever. It kind of shut everyone into this box that was just sort of like, look at yourself. Like, look at yourself. And it was like a critical mass, basically. It reached a critical mass where, like, you know, some of us walked out like if it wasn't for COVID-19, man, I don't know, like, because all of a sudden my responsibilities kind of got taken away. I could get loaded and like go to work. Basically, I didn't have to like see like a boss or anything like that. The problem with
pandemic is for a lot of people, like I know personally, there were times where I drank fucking way too much, way too often, dude, because of the loneliness, because of exactly, the like,
and so like it's really, I mean, a lot of people came out of that with this like new perspective, you know, even if it's in things like, so I mean, and we were just talking about like meditation, whatever. It's such a healthy thing, and but then I mean. Like a lot of us like didn't walk out. It crushed a lot of us. Like we lost a lot of people.
Literally,
not like from the pandemic, but like a lot of people. It was just like way too much, you know. So that's like really, it's hectic, man. It was an absolutely fucking dreadful thing for so many. But then, so fortunately, for a lot of people, they came out having learned so goddamn much about themselves, and just like really got to see like what their reality was, and decide to change it.
Yeah.
And so shit, no, it's hectic, man. It's like, and that reminds me, it makes me think so much of like, there's that, it's from one of the Taoist texts, that parable, you know, the farmer, the son and his horse. Do you know that?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So there's this farmer and his son, and they're like flat broke. They don't own anything except this horse, like this one horse. And then one day the horse runs away, and like that's it. That's all the stuff they had. So like the son and the neighbors, whatever, are freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god, that is so unfortunate. That's so terrible."
Yes, I know this. I love this parable.
Yeah, and the farmer's like, "Maybe it is, maybe it isn't." You know, must I continue it, or do you?
Yes, you could tell for the people like listening at home. Yeah. We don't want to stop it there.
So then months go, and the neighbors and the son's just like, "This is the worst thing that's ever happened." The farmer's like, "Maybe it is, maybe it isn't." You know. And then months later, the horse comes back with a whole bunch of wild horses. And the neighbors and the son is just like, this is so cute. This is the best thing ever. And the farmer's like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, you know? And then, so while the son's trying to break in one of the horses, he falls off and breaks his leg. And the villagers are like, oh, your son's broken his leg. It's the worst thing ever. And he's just like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, you know? And then, so the son's got a broken leg and he's miserable and everything. And then these neighboring barbarians take arms like against this community. And they begin conscripting in the community. And like 9 out of 10 soldiers that are conscripted end up dying. But the son is not conscripted because he has a broken leg. And so they're like, your son wasn't conscripted. That's so great. And the father's just like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, you know? So it's just like, so I have no idea what the plan is, dude. Like, I have no idea. I have no control over it. Like, I have no way of predicting anything. The future has just been absolutely different to like everything I thought it was going to be.
Like,
you know,
it's not the future we're promised growing up.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, with something, so it's just like, so that's a view I try to take on this stuff, and it's just a personal view because again, there are some things that are just so objectively bad, but there are things that I am like in my privilege, like not like dead in the center of. So like I have this absolute privilege and fortune to kind of with the other like, I don't want to say smaller because there are big things, you know, when something affects me or whatever, I get to be all like, listen, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means because it feels fucking terrible and it seems fucking terrible. But I mean, other things have felt terrible and they ended up being good. So maybe this is that, or maybe it isn't. And it was just a terrible thing. But like, I get through it because like it passes.
You've just got to feel it out, man.
Yeah, exactly. You just gotta like observe it and be like, all right, where's the lesson here? Where's the lesson in this?
Although I do like, I hate The Office, but I do appreciate that Dwight thing where he's like, sometimes there is no lesson. Yeah, sometimes it's just pain. Like,
yeah, dude. No, that's true.
And that is the lesson. Sometimes things just hurt.
Yeah,
sometimes life's just unfair. Sometimes there was nothing you could do. Sometimes there was, but it's happened already.
Exactly.
There's only shit you can do going forward. And even that, there's no telling what's going to happen from it. I'm fully like, so that's the thing. Like I've got a joke about it that, you know, I got into Zen philosophy because it's the philosophy of going with the flow, which is a great philosophy to have when the sea levels are rising.
Yeah, dude.
So that's literally it. Like that's how I feel these days. I'm like, I'm just gonna go with the flow because
sea levels are rising.
Like that's it. What the fuck can I do about anything? You know, I can try and go with the path of least resistance, and that doesn't mean not facing any resistance. But it is like not putting obstacles in your path that don't
exactly getting in your own way, basically. Yeah. No, absolutely, dude. That's something that like a guy is really important to me in recovery. He tells me a lot. Like it's just like I'm constantly like I'm just in my own way. I'm like freaking out about something, whatever, and he's just like, dude, is any of this even real? And I'm like, dude, like, yeah, it is. And he's like, well, okay, when we talk about it a bit more, and I'm like, oh my God, this thing that was so real, I just invented that. Like all of it.
I have to remind myself of that shit so often. Like I'll be like thinking about stuff, but also like I'll be thinking about issues that I have with people. And I'm like, I haven't seen that dude in like 4 years.
Yeah, like why does this matter? Like
just let that shit go.
Yeah, dude.
Like that's not a thought you need to fucking worry about.
Exactly, dude. And it's like it's how it is, man. Like honestly,
that's what meditation's helped with. Is recognizing that shit. Like it's like, oh, you're going down a path. Stop that.
Exactly. You get to check it out and observe it and be all like, wow, that's a pretty wacky script I'm reading. And you're like, wait, okay, cool, sick. I know that. And this weird part of me is looking at that and being like, oh, that's pretty fucked up. Yeah. Maybe this part of me can be all like, let's not do that. Like, maybe that's not it. Maybe there's like another thing that we try. But yeah, dude. So like, I mean, that still happens. Like I can wake up and within the first 10 seconds of being away, I'm just like laying there in like abject terror.
Oh, dude, that is like, how I wake up.
In terror.
Like,
exactly, dude.
I try to explain this to people forever. Like, I wake up angry. Like, it's not, like, that's literally why I smoke weed. And I know that's got its own issues, like, and whatever. Like, but like for me, it is genuinely a thing of like, okay, like I'm less angry now. Like, but that's why I meditate and stuff in the mornings now. And I've got like my routine and I try not to like open up my phone and check out Twitter. But like, I do like open my eyes and immediately it's like panic a lot of the time.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's for a lot of people, not just addicts or whatever. Like a lot of people, it's like.
I mean, I think I'm somewhere within you guys, but like, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And then so what's so wild is like, I mean, again, we've just woken up. We've had no exchange with anyone. Nothing new has happened or whatever. It's just like that whole thing. It's just like, and I'm like in like a dark room. I'm like in my bedroom, in my bed and whatever. Like nothing's happened. Like I've just made all of that, dude. And then it's just like with all of this stuff that I've learned in recovery, it is a process of just like getting it up and like shaking it off. Just like shaking that off and being all like, cool. And then actually checking out like the reality that is reality, you know, that isn't like a composite of reality and then this like proper fucked up thinking, you know?
Yeah.
And because like, obviously if I see something through like from like, if I don't deal with it, then the rest of my life is just, I'm going to see things that way and completely believe that's all real.
Because it is real to you, like
because it is. It's completely
paranoia is very real.
The feeling and the experience is real.
Yeah, but that is your reality.
Yeah,
like,
no, exactly, exactly, dude.
As someone with paranoid delusions,
and it's so important to be willing to do something about it. Again, just speaking personally, I mean, because like, again, my story is my story. You know, it's like it's very different to the next person's. I'm just really grateful to have found ways to be taught ways to like deal with it.
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked for you. Like,
thanks, bud.
I mean, you know, like, yeah, as I say, like, I didn't realize things got as bad as they did, but like, I've always known that, like, yeah, you and substances liked each other a bit too much.
Yeah, dude.
But, man. Yeah, trying to figure out which of my friends are fucking addicts and which of my friends are just jollers.
It's typically it's the guys that can. So I know because again we'd all like party and whatever, and then the difference was like a lot of the guys like they knew like when to go to sleep and whatever, or they'd be like, no, I got like work tomorrow or whatever, and then like a lot of and then so it's typically the guys that would have that level of responsibility that didn't really, because again, like not everyone who uses drugs, I think like they don't all have the thing that I have, you know. Sure. But
and not all addicts
what was super insane actually is when like people started dying and like people that like we know and whatever. I don't want to mention a name, but like it's someone that we both know. It's someone that was like from a band, and this disease like killed them, you know. And I remember I was just like gutted. I was just like heartbroken, dude. Not ever having it occur to me that like, whoa, this person died by doing the thing that I'm like doing right now. That like insanity, just that blind spot. I was like devastated, but I never like,
because you never think you're doing it to the same level other people are doing it. So it's never like
you don't see it that way.
No,
even if they are and you are, you just don't see it that way. You just like think like, wow, that guy needs to like, because I mean like we have friends that like we're like fucking out, and now I was like, man, that dude really needs to get his shit together. Yeah. Meanwhile, my life's like totally unmanageable. It's becoming like increasingly
but they were fucking out to a level that was like way worse than us. Like, well, that's how you see it though. Like,
that's how you see it.
But you're not even looking at your own life and like seeing like things aren't actually going that well for you.
That's exactly it, because you aren't looking at your own life. You're looking at that dude's life.
No. Yeah. But you also, and the reason why you're doing that is because you're worried about how everyone else sees you. Yeah. So it's like you don't necessarily like that's a weird thing about it. It's like you don't want you're worried about other people see you and stuff, but like at the same time, you're not necessarily doing anything to make that better.
Exactly. Yeah, I know it's weird. Like you're not. Like, no.
Everyone thinks I'm a loser. Like I've had these conversations with drunk people, like addicts, essentially.
Everyone thinks I'm a loser,
and it's like, yeah, dude, everyone does kind of think you're a fucking loser. Like it's because you're a bit of a loser. Yeah. Like, I'm glad you recognize that.
Yeah, it's like here's X and Y. Why, like, I don't know, if you're pissing people off constantly, here's the ABCs of it. Like, do something about it, bro.
Yeah, but it's always the world's the problem, other people.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's it's life and feeling like a victim, whatever. Like, man, I loved feeling like a victim. There are still days where I just love feeling like a victim, bro. And it's like, it's such an unhealthy and dangerous thing to me.
Especially since like, yeah, you ain't been a victim of anything except
I ain't been a victim of a damn thing, bro. The only thing that has ever caused me pain is like the consequences of my own actions. That's like the only bad things that have ever happened to me in my entire life have been the consequences of my own actions.
I was just going to say, like, maybe the drinking coffee and smoking at like 12 might have had an effect on your heart, but...
Yeah, that did. But still, is that a bad? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Maybe it is. Yeah, exactly. We'll see how that goes. What did I interrupt you saying there, though?
I can't remember.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to quickly get to the Patreon questions because I put it out there that you would be on. And some people, well, one person was keen to ask some questions.
yeah.
I just said we were good friends and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So one of the questions they asked, which is a silly one because it's never happened, is who won in a physical fight between y'all two since you've known each other for a long time? That was with Simp Slayer. He's asked other questions, but
yeah. Okay.
have you ever been in a physical fight?
I kind of do have an answer to that question. Weirdly. Okay, so
We've never fought though.
no, hear me out on this. Okay, at Old Burn once we were wrestling. Okay, we were wrestling. So we were wrestling and it was fun and everything, and then it was cool, and then we chilled, and then I saw a friend of mine and I went to give her a hug and my shoulder popped out of its socket. so I guess you won. That's that. So I guess you beat the shit out of me. It was like you dislocated my elbow. Although it wasn't that, it was because of our fight.
Yeah.
So there you go. What Simp Slayer.
Yeah, you used to roughhouse. I used to roughhouse a lot.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, because like you were super into wrestling.
Yeah,
and
still
I was
am.
and then, well, yeah, you are still super into wrestling.
but it's not just that. It's like a weird Umbilo like boy thing, and also like you were smaller than me,
boy.
like, and I was the smaller guy growing up. So like now it's like I finally have someone smaller than me. I can.
Oh, dude, that's the worst bully, man. Is the bully that is bullied, so they bully the kid smaller or nerdier than them.
That's how I was at times.
I worked for this guy that was like that, actually, and it was rough. And that was like, so only when he was described as such, because he was a dude, and I can't be too resentful here, because like, listen, like, any way that I pissed him off is probably like completely correct, but he was like a super mean dude, but like, listen, like everything that I was called out for, he probably could have been a lot harder on me, man. But he was described as the kid that like he's such a dick now because he was picked on a lot when he was a kid, so now he kind of like
some power.
Yeah, exactly. He just kind of does that to like the smaller dude.
I will say I'm grateful I didn't get any success in my 20s. Like it's just like would have been an asshole.
Oh man.
I mean, I was an asshole. Still kind of am at times.
Yeah, asshole without the clout.
Yeah, shit. Fuck, that's a good fucking diss. Like,
you're an asshole without the clout, dude.
Fuck, I like that. So Simp Slayer also asked some more questions.
Cool.
What movie did you watch with your students recently to teach them about filming?
About filming?
Yeah.
Well, we watched a bunch of movies. What's the most recent one we watched? We actually watched... I think we watched Eraserhead recently.
Oh, fuck yes.
We watched Eraserhead recently, which is always quite a cool thing with the third years because
How many times have you watched that now?
Oh, God. Yeah, okay, so it's like almost to the point where it's like a joke on campus where like I'm not that far away from just like driving around, just like windows down, blasting the Eraserhead. Like, not even just the score, like the dialogue and everything. Because that score is so wild, dude. If you listen to that film loud enough, the dogs in your neighborhood are just gonna go fucking berserk. It's crazy. It's just got some of the wildest frequencies and stuff in it. Well, it's David Lynch. I mean, that's what he does. He does songs and stuff so well as well. But yeah, so Eraserhead is a really good one because it's definitely.
But what do you teach them with that? What's some of the overarching lessons that you're trying to?
With Eraserhead, sound design is a big one. Okay. So I mean, there are narrative things to discuss in that, but it's the medium of it that really is so beautiful in Eraserhead. Because like, listen, it's a super divisive film, and like anyone that doesn't like Eraserhead, I totally fucking get why they don't like Eraserhead. I
mean, probably, but like, I don't know. Most people like film, like Eraserhead.
Yeah. Most people who like film, no, but like you do get some kids that it's just not up their alley. If it's not up their alley, it's fine.
That's fine.
Like they can live a perfectly okay life, not liking Eraserhead.
Yeah. But not liking Mulholland Drive. Now that we got a fucking problem.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. So I mean, it's the medium and the imagery that
because that's some stark imagery.
Yeah, it is. It's really bleak, and it's just got such like an overwhelming emotional takeaway, despite you so many times being so uncertain of like what's going on. Like, how did this happen? Like, where's this going? Whatever. So there's this crazy sort of really creative but like cognitive process of you like filling in these gaps and you putting these things together.
Which is what he's great at.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of just like, so I mean, there's just so much to interpret in that film, in any given moment in that film.
Yeah, you could literally take any 5 minutes and like teach a class on it.
And I also do, and I watch that film with them because it's a fucking tough time. It's like a tough time, and they watch so much Marvel shit and this and that, and that's cool. That's totally fine. That's totally fine and everything. And then they watch a lot of cool stuff, but like not a lot of them have watched something like that film. Then there's a lot of like William Kentridge stuff that we watch as well, like Sobriety, Obesity, and Growing Old. That was like one of his shorts. William Kentridge, South African artist, like really, really huge South African artist.
I'll write his name down and check
William
him out.
Kentridge. Oh wow, no, he's like one of the biggest exports in South African art, and he does everything. He writes like operas. He does like, he's massive, dude.
Damn,
it's crazy.
Cool.
Yeah. So that, and then like I don't know, more like kind of like sort of like neither really here nor there. Phil, we watched like. Like Don't Look Up was a fun film to show them. I thought.
Was it?
Hey?
Was it?
It was fun. It was fun because
I hate that movie.
Really? What do you hate about it?
So there's a lot of things, but it makes easy targets. And like, I think you could have made a much better critique if it was a Democrat president. Like if it's,
absolutely.
I think the critique is toothless a lot of the time. Like the movie was too long in a lot of ways because it's like 2 hours of saying, oh, we're not going to do anything about climate change.
Yeah. Like, it could have been a skit, man. You're right, actually. Like, it could have been a skit. It could have been a sketch.
Yeah. I mean, so that's the thing. And I dig the director. What's his name again?
Who is it?
Something Adams, I think, or whatever. He did The Big Short.
Oh, yeah. He did Vice as well. Yeah. With, he did, like, Step Brothers and stuff like that.
That was it. Yeah. So he's done some like he did fucking The Legend of Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights.
Yeah, Anchorman.
Yeah,
that was Judd. Didn't he do that?
I don't know if he did Anchorman. The guy who did fucking Don't Look Up. I can't remember his name. It's like Richard. It's not Richard Adams.
No, it's something Adams. Adam Scott's an actor. Hey?
Yes, he is. He's in Severance.
Which I think is actually made by No, it isn't. No, never mind. Well, I'm just thinking everyone's made
produced by Ben Stiller.
Yes.
Yeah, Severance is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the director of Don't Look Up is Adam McKay.
Adam McKay, man. That's it. Should we see if he did Anchorman?
Okay, I think he probably did.
Did he?
Yeah. But
but
that was cool for you to show them.
No, because it was like a entry level 101 of dramatic irony.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, of dramatic irony. It was like a 101 thing. It was like
dramatic irony, I guess. Because comedic irony, you go with Idiocracy.
Which is also it was a toss up between that. But what Don't Look Up did that made it really easy to kind of just get the idea of dramatic irony was like again like. This thing, these guys have this information and it should so obviously send this thing in one direction, but it's sending it in the other, kind of thing. And then like that's the conflict.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I think the critique like of, governments doing that and capital and everything is 100% spot on. But yeah, like I didn't think the movie itself was necessarily good.
No, it isn't great. No, man, it isn't.
Like the story
we didn't watch
sucks. It's just like there's nothing there for me, like as a viewer, to go other than you're making a point.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I wouldn't watch it for enjoyment. Again, I wouldn't watch it and like learn something from it. I watched it and I was like, I need an
how
example.
To act from Jonah Hill.
I needed an example of dramatic irony, and it was just like right there. And I was like, cool, it's like literally just come out. So maybe the kids have seen it. And maybe because again, like
That's
always
topical.
Like it's super important to review like the classics, or whatever. So we watch like the Battleship Potemkin, and we watch like Citizen Kane and this and that, whatever.
You do French New Wave?
Hey,
you done the 400 blows and stuff like that? Or
Buddha Souffle, yes. So Breathless, Breathless.
I've got it. So
yeah.
That's Godard, right?
Yeah, Godard. Yeah. But it's really important to bring. It's super like curmudgeonly to not bring in newer examples. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Like you got to show them like this stuff in practice now, because
but like there's lots of cool shit like because of like stuff like A24 and Netflix
so
and
much
like
good stuff. Dude, like Midsummer, we watched the shit out of and spoke about that film like a lot. It was great because I got to have a cool perspective on that as well, like studying cults and everything. I like talk about it, whatever, which is cool.
I've got some cult stuff in my comedy set.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I want to start a cult and then I'll talk about Heaven's Gates and like fucking love Heaven's Gates.
It is.
If there was any cult in history I would have joined, it would have been Heaven's Gates.
Why?
Because like they took it like, well, to be honest, it's because of the tracksuits and the cool knock decades. Just drippers forever, bro. Anyway, people can come watch me do comedy to hear me talk about this shit because like I got
tomorrow night.
Well, this comes out after
at some point.
It's actually, so I'm gonna rephrase this question because
Cool.
like I don't necessarily like the phrasing, but do you find films like Fast 9 ridiculous and pointless, or do you enjoy them?
Like what?
Fast 9,
the
Fast
hell's
and the
Fast-
Furious, like
Oh, shit. Listen, I mean, this whole thing, it's like everything belongs somewhere, I believe in this. And so there are films that are made, like, listen, that film has like a lot of fans, you know? And it's made, I do think it's made exclusively for the commerce factor
Sure.
of like the art industry, you know, is that like there's money and then you put that in, you get a return, you make a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
And I think that film does that. And it's the reason like a number 9 is made, you know, is because it's making a shitload of money. Listen, I haven't seen it. I
haven't seen 9 yet. I think they go to space, but like, that's happening in the next one. But like, what I appreciate about Fast and Furious movies is all the physical effects.
Oh
like,
yeah, dude. Like no, that stuff is it's like magic, bro.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Like
yeah.
I appreciate that they do a lot of stuff in camera.
Yeah,
and, Like I hate like some like I actually like I know people hate too. I enjoy the Fast and Furious franchise.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Because I mean, yeah, like it's silly and like you say, like it's got like to me, it's not even the commercial appeal. It's just like it's got a level of cheese to it that like I can appreciate, you know?
Yeah,
like it's not
dude.
trying to be too serious.
Exactly,
like,
man. Exactly. I think at that point with the number 9, they're very aware.
Oh,
like,
what they
the
become,
films are so self-aware.
I just hate like that between like Statham, The Rock, and Vin Diesel, none of them can ever lose a fight on screen, and they've all got to have the same. Like it's in their contracts. Like they've got to have the same number of punches, and like no one can ever look like they're winning a fight.
Yeah.
Like
what? No,
which is just
man.
terrible for storytelling and terrible for like so many things. So like
maybe Fast X. Someone will get the crap kicked out of them.
Yeah, like I just feel like bringing The Rock in kind of ruined it. But that's just
I don't.
But you don't even know.
Yeah,
but
dude, I don't know. But anyway,
what are your guilty pleasure movies? I guess
guilty pleasure movies. I know, but one thing I do want to say about Fast and Furious, though, that you just said is like, listen. So while that film or that franchise, it might not be impressive in some ways, it's like impressive in other ways, you know. And that's why like I'm not gonna say like it's shit or they shouldn't be making movies like that or whatever, because like listen, in one way or another it's growing an industry that
and it's also
I love,
and it's like core, it's all about family, baby.
Is it?
That's literally it. It's the family. So that's the thing. It's about the family that you make. It's not about like necessarily your blood family.
See, no, that's awesome, dude.
That's the concurrent theme throughout Fast and the Furious is like we do this for our family.
Okay, see, well, that's a great message, man. And then I'm happy that films like that exist.
They commit many crimes, kill thousands of people.
But it's like, yeah, it's kind of like Batman. Like he didn't kill people, but he just like
he didn't
kill them, but like a lot of those people aren't alive or they're very paralyzed. You know?
But no, like fucking in the first Batman movie where the train like fucking like you know collapses and shit. Like there's so many things he does that like
I know they're questionable, bro. But okay, guilty pleasure movies. Christ.
Like what's like, you know, is it like rom-com? Because like I love like, you know, just a good old school rom-com movie. Or like I don't like silly action movies, not so much.
Yeah, like those aren't even guilty pleasures for me, like rom-coms, like 10 Things I Hate About You and stuff.
I mean, that's
like
just
classic.
Yeah.
You know, classic, Clueless and whatnot. Guilty pleasure, something that I'll watch and I'll be like, oh fuck, this is dumb. But like I'll just like enjoy it and I'll watch the next one when it comes out. Is there are a lot of shows, I suppose, that are like that more than movies. Like there's something like, so I started watching Peacemaker yesterday because
Peacemaker's fantastic.
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
There's no guilt there. That's
no, there's no guilt. So one of my exes actually worked on Peacemaker, and so that's why I went to go watch it because I spoke to her yesterday.
Casual.
And and it's so good, dude. But I mean, so there are shows. So I typically want to say like Marvel-ish things or whatever. Like, listen, like I'm never gonna rush to watch one, but I'll watch it when it came out, and then some of them I'll be like, that sucked. Some of them I'll be like, I mean, because they're all
fully tapped out. Like if it's not Spider-Man and like
that's it. That's the last one I'll watch for Spider-Man. Like, listen, I don't know if I'm gonna.
I've tapped out of the Marvel universe. I like what DC is doing. Give me fucking Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn. Like give me like independently produced. You know, like I didn't like Joker, but I love the Suicide Squad. I think the Suicide Squad might be the best comic book movie. Like, it's perfect. Like
that's interesting, man.
Yeah. Not the first Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that other one was bad.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know in terms of
like
guilty
I hate
pleasures,
the Todd Phillips shit, but like
yeah, guilty pleasures, like shit. I don't know. Let's call it Marvel stuff.
Marvel stuff.
Even though it isn't like, I know guilty pleasure implies that like you keep going back to it, whatever. Marvel stuff, I don't really like. I don't know. Let's continue this conversation. It's gonna buzz around in my head and something's gonna come out because right now I can't think. I'm just watching like so much good stuff because there's so much good stuff that's like out at the moment. So there hasn't been any.
Okay, so yeah, before we head on out, give us a couple of recommendations. So Peacemaker, obviously number one. Peacemaker's
great. Anyone that hasn't, and it's it's surprising. I don't want to say it's like so shocking because obviously there are a lot of people that have watched it, but it's alarming how many people haven't watched like The Wire. It's crazy.
Omar's coming.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That
shit used to be on ETV. I watched it like when I was like a teenager.
It's just like, oh man, it's like undefeatable, I think, in terms of television. And it just like, and I mean, I love The Sopranos. I love Sopranos as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like, because I mean, they came out at the same time. And so like people were just like a little more interested in like Italian American gangsters than they were in like black gangsters.
Sure.
You know, even though The Wire wasn't just like all about that.
No.
But
The Wire is about the game.
Exactly. It's about the game, bro. And then
the game is the game.
Like, okay, basically anything. So I want to say watch The Wire, but there's a lot of really cool other David Simon stuff that people haven't watched. And he's just the greatest showrunner in the history of showrunners, I think. So Treme, The Deuce is really good. He's just made a new show. It's like literally just come out. It's called We Own the City. It's about the gun trace task force in Baltimore. It's about police brutality, basically.
Okay.
And how when police got called
He's
out
really
for
got
being
his niche, eh?
Hey?
He's really got his niche.
No, he does, dude. He does. And it's because he was a homicide reporter for so long. Yeah. So, but then like Treme is so good as well. It's about like New Orleans, like after the floods and stuff. It's really good. But
I watched the Nick Cage movie. Have you seen it? It's Bad Lieutenant, like Port of Call, New Orleans. Fucking, you'll love it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, no, check it out. Dude.
I mean, I don't know how you feel about Cage, but
I fucking love him, dude. Raising Arizona, he's great, dude. I love
you picked the one that he got a fucking Oscar for, but like, or he got nominated.
Did he? Okay, yeah. No, but I like him, man. Adaptation was really good. He's cool.
Have you seen Pig yet?
No, I haven't.
I'm keen. It's on the list. But anyway, I feel like rambling a little here. Okay, so I'm going to head on out with a question I'll ask everyone.
Sure.
And you've probably got a few things to pick from for this. But what's a big mistake you've made that you learned an important lesson from?
Big mistake?
Yeah, so you can like, be like, the mistake was this and I learned this major lesson. Or you can be like, I learned this major lesson and the mistake was this.
Oh, wow, man. Jesus.
It's totally a choice, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's just so because
there's so many.
Because it's something that I'm so aware of and I'm always looking for. There isn't like
something people can take away from.
Yeah, it is because usually there's like a person that'll be like, "Oh man, that's such like an interesting question" or whatever. It's just like my life. like where am I constantly like at the end of every day, at the end of literally every day, I pick apart like what happened then, and do I need to make an amends to someone? Do I like what did I struggle with something? Like, what was the reason for that? Like, what did I do wrong and whatever? And then like that sounds super like guilty and like it's all me and whatever. But like, I don't know. So what did I do that was okay? I never trusted that people might understand like what was going on. That people could help. I was just too kind of thinking like, I got this. Yeah, like I can sort this out myself kind of way. And I just hung on to that for so long while like all evidence was just showing like, my dude, you don't got this. I didn't trust. It's not that I didn't trust people. Like, I think you're going to like do something bad to me or whatever. I just didn't trust anyone else's capability to help me.
That's fair.
Yeah. And then I found out that
I mean, everything about life kind of tells you that, like,
And it's another thing that with Joseph Campbell that really got me going on this whole thing is like, and I heard Jeff Rickley from Thursday speaking about this on a podcast because he's an addict as well. And when I went to my first recovery thing and started speaking to other addicts, Joseph Campbell wrote that thing and I actually shared it the other day, so just about how like the labyrinth is thoroughly known, like we think we see this labyrinth for the first time, and it's just like so complex and so abstract and difficult, and we're like, fuck, how am I going to do this sort of thing? And it's like other people have done it. Other people have done it. Other people have experience. Like people are like your greatest resources. And like I didn't accept that, and I didn't understand it because I didn't believe it. And
That's fair.
And that's something that I learned a great lesson from.
You see, for me, like I totally relate to the like nothing other people can help you, but the converse of the like other people have done it is a big motivator for me.
Yeah, absolutely,
like,
dude.
You know, whenever I'm stressing about anything I have to do, I'm like, you're not doing anything new. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like you're doing a thing people have done thousands of times.
Yeah,
like,
exactly, man. I want to remember that quote. It's such a good one. It's like, what we need not risk the adventure alone. For the heroes of all time have gone before us. The labyrinth is thoroughly known. Where we thought we'd find an abomination, we'll find God. Where we thought to slay another, we'll slay ourselves. Where we thought we'd journey outward, we'll come to the center of our own existence. And where we thought we'd be alone, we shall be with all the world. I think like I read that and I was connected with that, and I just like put those two together with what it was like meeting addicts in recovery, and just like they would share about their thinking, and I'd be like, oh my fuck, that's me. Like, holy shit, like I'm not alone. Like I'm garden variety, and the weight that gets like lifted off your shoulders, because we all think we're super unique and we're super special, and our programs are so unique to us and whatever. Like they're not.
Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable though to expect that, because all we know is our own experience. Like,
yeah, no, exactly. But like that's the thing, we're so up our own asses. That's our experience. We think that no one else in the world would be able to contribute any aid or advice on this, whatever. But like people can, and people will. People are like a lot kinda like, we have this thing where we're sometimes scared of people. We're like, I don't want to give them that or whatever. Like I don't want to be vulnerable in front of them because like this or whatever. Like very seldomly is a person going to exploit that. Like typically, like if you if you ask for help, like a lot of people are like going to help, you know. So
yeah, it's just like, I guess you don't necessarily feel that way before you do.
And then like a lot of people do have trust issues for like really valid reasons, you know. Thing is, like trust issues is like,
because it's also, the problem is like your past tells you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
no,
because you get hurt.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. So trust issues for like really, really valid reasons. Yeah, and I mean, some people very close to me that have that thing, and it's just like, it's something that like makes them so miserable, you know. And something that like, because it makes them miserable, but for a lot of people, it's like, we got this thing that makes us miserable, but we don't think there's a way to work on it, you know? And it's like, the way to heal so many things is you just go in the complete opposite direction. So to heal trust issues, you got to be more trusting. But then like, fuck.
Because you need the proof that like, because once you trust someone and they actually respond to it like properly, like you're like, oh wait, I can trust people. And then you do a little more, and then you do a little more. But like, if you don't ever try and
dude, exactly. So it's like, it's just that comfort of like a familiar pain, you know, because you're scared of like that thing happening again, or like a new pain that comes with growing. And yeah, man.
Cool. Well, I think that brings us.
How long has this been?
Fucking forever, dude. Yeah, no, like I've got to edit. I've still got to like do shit. Like,
holy shit! Is this a two-parter? How's this gonna play out?
It won't make sense if it's a two-parter, because you conclude all the stuff in the second half from the first half.
Is that my fault?
No, that's my hosting. But yeah, so the people do want to get in touch with you if they've connected to this at
they
all.
Do.
What's
they
your? Because
listen,
like they can email me and I'll give them your email address, but they can also contact you.
Yeah,
on
that would be
media.
cool, because I suppose if your information's over there, they can do that.
Yeah.
And then just so if anything's connected with them or whatever, or they find that
I'll connect to your Instagram in the show notes.
Yeah. So if there's just anything that they heard that they think that they could discuss with someone, and maybe in teaching me something, you know, or in maybe wanting to find out like if they need to get clean, or if they have loved ones that they're struggling with or whatever, like just I've learned like where the resources are basically, and like
you can be the friend that pointed you in the right place. Like
exactly. I mean, well, we don't have to know each other. Just anyone, feel free to reach out. Bob will hook you up.
Sweet. Cool. Sweet. Well, thank you so much for your time, bro.
You're welcome, bro. Thank you.
Such a good chat.
I know, this has been great, man. Thanks. I love this.
So that was Ali, one of my oldest friends, and someone who I'm really happy is getting the help that he needs, you know. Really stoked that he's on the path of recovery and that he's found people to help him on that journey. So if you know, found this conversation to be pretty sobering, if you heard some things there that were like, oh shit, that sounds like me, then maybe hit me up. I'll get you in touch with Ali, or just hit him up on Instagram. I will have his details in the show notes, like I mentioned. And yeah, man, this was quite a sobering conversation for me. I think you would have heard quite a lot come out there, where I've obviously had my own history with substances and substance abuse, for sure. Like, there were definitely times in my life where I overdid things for too long, and it had a negative effect on my life. And I like to think, for the most part, I've got that shit under control. But I don't know. I don't know where I always stand when it comes to the addiction thing, because I know my dad is an alcoholic, and my mom was quite a jawler. And I know those things aren't always just like, there's different theories around this stuff, whether it's genetic or whether it's environmental and lots of different things. So I'm well versed in quite a bit of it, as you might have picked up. I kept, unfortunately, interrupting Ali and finishing his sentences there. I do like to think that's because we're lifelong friends, pretty much. But also, it is, yeah, something I need to... Someone pointed it out in an old episode at House It, and then doing this edit, I was just like, oh, god damn it. I haven't necessarily got that one out the way. But maybe it is just because it's Ali. I need to go back and listen to some episodes and see where I'm at with the interrupting people too much thing. But yeah, like, this is a conversation that I'm really stoked we had. It's a conversation I've had not at this length, or maybe sometimes longer, with various different people who on various different sides of the addiction thing, you know, whether recovering or not. And yeah, it's a part of our lives. It's a part of this modern existence. And I just hope you can find what you need when it comes to everything. Once I figure out my shit, I'll let you know. But like I say, I think for the most part I've got shit under control, but I do need to smoke less weed. I do need to smoke less in general. And yeah, the drinking alone at home is a thing that thankfully I think is out of my system now, because I'm finally going out again. So being social and shit. And we'll see, man. We'll see how everything goes. But I'm here for you. Ali is here for you. And that's especially true at the moment, I guess, because fuck it. Yeah, you would have seen, if you're follow this on anything, I guess, that one of the ex-guests of the podcast, Jaden Daniel, passed away. And I reshared that episode with an updated intro and stuff. And yeah, man, it's a loss that a lot of people are feeling, and it's going to be felt for quite some time. And oh man, it's all just so fucking hard, you know. And I don't have much, you know, when it comes in the way of comfort when it comes to situations like this. It's just always sore. It's always painful. It's something that a lot more of us are going through as time goes on. So yeah, if you knew Jaden, my heart goes out to you. Wishing you strength. And yeah, if you need someone to talk to, you can hit me at bob@almostperfect.co. Yeah, I'm definitely willing to chat to people. And yeah, I guess it sucks because of a lot of things, obviously. But, you know, I just had this pretty phenomenal week. Like, really cool time, spending time with Paige's aunt and uncle, getting to meet them, getting to meet her grandfather, getting to be a part of some special moments with the family. And yeah, just get to enjoy some of life's better parts. And then to be woken up with the news of Jaden passing and stuff. It's just like one of those snap back to reality kind of situations. Although it's all reality. It's I guess we did chat about some of this stuff in the podcast. You gotta just kind of feel it out, you know. But yeah, sorry, I don't know what to say, so I'm gonna just say that, and we will head on out into the shout outs. For those of you that don't know, the shout outs is a section where we shout out the titular titles tier over patreon.com/almost perfect. And they are Rousseau, who is the storage clerk of Subtle Heresies in the Lesser Overberg region. Shout outs to you, bro. Shout outs to Russell Grant, the Far East correspondent. Shout outs to Neil Green, who is the key grip. Shout outs to Karan Sleman, the Almost Perfect hedge fund manager. Shout outs to Vishendra Naidu, our spiritual advisor. Shout outs to Riz Ventura, the director of purchasing. Shout outs to Julian, who is the king. Shout outs to Karan Chetty, the assistant to the regional manager. Shout out to Catherine Jenkin, the inevitable ruler of the universe, and Queen Swifty. Shout out to our executive producer, Stephen Olivier. And shout out to our anonymous benefactor. Shout outs, of course, to Damien Ruitt, who created the bed music you hear underneath you and the intro music that kicks this off every single week, or almost every single week. And lastly, shout out to you. I will catch you on the flip side.